The universe does not owe us clarity. It offers only an ocean of unending night, punctuated by the faint, ancient light of stars. Within this silent, expansive dark, we exist on a fragile world, turning our eyes and our instruments toward the overwhelming emptiness above us. For millennia, we have looked up and seen patterns, connecting the dots of starlight into comforting myths and predictable celestial mechanics. We have grown accustomed to a certain kind of order, a set of rules that seem to govern the grand architecture of the cosmos. This is the cosmological principle, the idea that on the largest scales, the universe is fundamentally the same in all directions, uniform and homogeneous. It is a foundational assumption, a bedrock upon which our understanding of cosmic history and its immense structure has been carefully built. But the quiet of space is deceptive, and the data that streams back from our most advanced telescopes sometimes contains a whisper of dissent. These are the anomalies, the glitches in the grand cosmic pattern, the things that should not be there, according to our elegant equations. Most are dismissed as errors in measurement, as statistical phantoms that vanish upon closer inspection, restoring our sense of cosmic order. Yet some anomalies persist, lingering in the data like a ghost in the machine, challenging us to question the very nature of reality. Recently, our instruments detected such a ghost, a structure so vast and so unexpected that it defies the very principle of cosmic uniformity. It is not a cluster of galaxies, nor is it a filament of dark matter, the known superstructures that string the universe together. This is something else entirely, something that appears to be arranged with an unnerving, almost deliberate geometry on an impossible scale. Scientists are calling it, with a sense of profound understatement, the Big Ring, and it is the strangest object we have ever seen. It exists 9 billion light-years away, a relic from a much younger universe, when the cosmos was only a fraction of its current age. Its presence in our sky is not obvious. It is a phantom, visible only by mapping the precise locations of countless distant galaxies. When these galactic positions are plotted, an almost perfect circle emerges from the background noise, a shape where no shape should exist. The scale of this structure is difficult for the human mind to process, a challenge to the very language we use for measurement. It measures 1.3 billion light-years in diameter, a celestial hoop so large that it would take light over 1 billion years to cross it. If we could see it in our night sky, this single structure would be the width of 15 full moons, a silent ornament of impossible size. According to our best models of cosmic evolution, a structure this large is not just unlikely, it is a statistical impossibility. The universe simply should not have had enough time to assemble something so vast and so coherent since the moment of the Big Bang. The known speed limit of the universe, the speed of light, makes the formation of such a colossal object a profound and unsettling paradox. It stands as a silent monument to a process we do not understand, a piece of cosmic architecture that violates our most fundamental blueprints. It forces us to ask a question that lies at the boundary of science and philosophy. What could have possibly created this? The object sits there in the silent data streams, a calm and quiet refutation of what we thought we knew about the cosmos. It is a cosmic question mark, etched into the fabric of space-time itself, waiting for an explanation that we may not possess. One possibility is that we are witnessing a remnant of a physical process from the very early universe that we have yet to imagine. This could be a scar left behind by baryon acoustic oscillations, sound waves that rippled through the primordial plasma of the universe. These ancient sound waves created spheres of matter, and perhaps what we are seeing is the edge of one such fossilized bubble. Yet even this theory struggles to account for the near-perfect circularity and the sheer, breathtaking scale of the Big Ring structure. The size limit for such acoustic relics is thought to be much smaller, making this explanation a difficult and unsatisfying fit. We are pushed toward more exotic, more speculative, and more humbling possibilities that test the limits of our scientific imagination. Another theory suggests the involvement of cosmic strings, theoretical one-dimensional defects in space-time, remnants from the universe's birth. These strings, if they exist, would be incredibly dense and could warp space-time, seeding the formation of galaxies along their length. Perhaps the Big Ring is a cosmic string that has formed a closed loop, a celestial knot tied in the fabric of reality. This remains a highly theoretical idea, a concept born from mathematics that has never been observed until perhaps this very moment. And then there are the explanations that take us beyond conventional physics into realms that feel more like myth than cosmology. Could this be a signpost? An artifact of intelligence so advanced and so ancient that its engineering operates on a cosmic scale? The idea of a Kardashev Type 3 civilization, capable of harnessing the energy of an entire galaxy, is a staple of speculative thought. Such a civilization might build structures not from metal or stone, but from stars and galaxies themselves, shaping the cosmos to their will. This is an explanation that science is uncomfortable with, as it cannot be tested, and yet the structure itself sits there, demanding an answer. The perfect circular shape is what unnerves us, for nature prefers fractal, chaotic patterns over the clean lines of geometry. Is the Big Ring a natural formation that just happens to align with our notions of simple geometry, a coincidence of cosmic proportions? The chance of this happening is calculated to be less than 1 in 100,000, a statistical improbability that borders on impossible. So we are left in a state of profound uncertainty, holding a map of the universe that now contains a feature our rules cannot explain. The discovery of the Big Ring does not give us an answer, but rather it gives us a much better, much deeper question. It reminds us that the cosmos is not only stranger than we imagine, it may be stranger than we can possibly imagine. As you drift into the quiet of your own mind, let the scale of this mystery expand, filling the space with a sense of wonder. The universe is speaking, and we are only now, after all this time, beginning to learn the alien grammar of its language. The cosmological principle is more than a mere hypothesis. It is the philosophical anchor of modern cosmology, a declaration that our corner of the universe is not special. It posits that if you zoom out far enough, past the scale of planets, stars, and even galaxies, the cosmic tapestry becomes a uniform, homogeneous weave. The universe, in its grandest aspect, should exhibit no discernible structure, no privileged locations, no cosmic anomalies that would suggest a center or an edge. This principle is a direct descendant of the Copernican idea that Earth is not the center of all things, expanded to the ultimate degree. It is a statement of cosmic modesty. The Big Ring, however, represents a profound and unsettling violation of this modesty. At 1.3 billion light-years in diameter, it far exceeds the theoretical size limit for any structure, which is estimated to be around 1.2 billion light-years. It is a cosmic titan that simply should not have been born in the time allotted since the dawn of the cosmos. To comprehend the sheer audacity of this structure's existence, one must consider the process of cosmic formation itself. In the moments after the Big Bang, the universe was an almost perfectly smooth, hot, dense plasma. Tiny quantum fluctuations in this primordial soup acted as the seeds for all future structure. Over billions of years, gravity acted upon these minute density variations, pulling matter together. Dark matter formed vast, invisible scaffolds, and along these filaments, hydrogen and helium gas collected, ignited into the first stars, and coalesced into the first galaxies. This process is hierarchical and slow. Small things form first, then merge to create larger things. It is a cosmic story of gradual accumulation. The Big Ring, however, appears as a fully formed, coherent structure on a scale that this gradual process cannot explain. It is like finding a perfectly constructed skyscraper in a world where the only known tools are mud and sticks. It suggests a formative mechanism that is either dramatically faster or entirely different from the one our models describe. The discovery was not made through a single stunning photograph, but through the painstaking analysis of quasar light. Quasars are the intensely luminous cores of distant, young galaxies, powered by supermassive black holes. They are the perfect cosmic lighthouses, their brilliant rays traveling for billions of years to reach our telescopes. As this light journeys across the universe, it passes through intervening clouds of gas and dust, particularly the halos of magnesium gas surrounding other, less luminous galaxies. Each time the light passes through such a halo, a specific absorption line is imprinted onto its spectrum, like a fingerprint. Astronomers from the University of Central Lancashire analyzed the light from hundreds of quasars in a particular patch of sky. looking for these magnesium absorption fingerprints. They were not looking for a ring, but simply mapping the distribution of matter in the distant universe. What they found was an almost perfect circular pattern of these absorption lines, indicating a ring of galaxies whose existence was previously completely unknown. This observational method lends a powerful credence to the discovery, removing the possibility that it is a mere illusion or a trick of perspective. It is a physical structure, traced by the shadows it casts in the light of distant quasars. The statistical significance of the finding is rated 5 sigma, a gold standard in physics that typically signifies a genuine discovery rather than a statistical fluke. A 5 sigma result means there is only a 1 in 3.5 million chance that the observed pattern is random. This is the same level of certainty that was required to announce the discovery of the Higgs boson. The Big Ring is not a ghost in the data. It is a tangible, albeit mind-bogglingly vast feature of our universe's geography. It sits in the cosmic dark, confirmed by the laws of probability, even as it seems to violate the laws of physics. It presents us with a maddening paradox. The data is impeccably clear, but the explanation is entirely absent. Let us contemplate one of the more mainstream, yet still inadequate, explanations: baryon acoustic oscillations, or BAOs. Imagine the early universe not as a silent void, but as a place filled with sound. In the primordial plasma before atoms formed, photons and matter were tightly coupled, behaving like a single fluid. Any disturbance in this fluid, caused by quantum fluctuations, would propagate outwards as a sound wave, much like a pebble dropped in a pond. These were not sound waves in the conventional sense, but waves of pressure and density. As the universe expanded and cooled, a point was reached, about 380,000 years after the Big Bang, where atoms could finally form. At this moment, called recombination, the photons decoupled from matter and were free to travel, becoming the cosmic microwave background radiation we observe today. The sound waves, however, were frozen in place at this instant, leaving behind a faint spherical shell of slightly denser matter. This shell had a characteristic radius of about 500 million light-years. These fossilized sound shells, these BAOs, became the preferred locations for galaxy formation over the subsequent eons. In theory, if we were positioned exactly at the center of one of these ancient disturbances, we might look out and see a ring of galaxies on the sky, representing the edge of that primordial sphere. This is a beautiful and elegant theory, and it successfully explains the large-scale clustering of galaxies observed elsewhere in the universe. The problem is one of scale. The maximum size of a BAO ring is determined by the physics of the early universe, and it is firmly capped at a size far smaller than the 1.3 billion light-year diameter of the Big Ring. To explain the Big Ring as a BAO is like trying to explain a mountain with a theory that can only produce molehills. It requires the known physics to be stretched beyond its breaking point, or it requires us to be situated in a cosmically privileged position, a violation of the Copernican principle that science is loath to accept. This leads us into the far more speculative territory of cosmic strings. These are not strings in the sense of string theory's vibrating filaments of energy, but rather a different, grander concept. They are hypothetical one-dimensional topological defects in spacetime, theorized to have formed during the symmetry-breaking phase transitions of the very early universe. Imagine freezing water into ice. Sometimes, cracks and imperfections form between different regions of ice crystals. Cosmic strings are analogous to these cracks, but on a cosmic scale, formed when the fundamental forces of nature froze into their distinct forms. These strings would be thinner than an atom's nucleus, but possess an immense density and gravitational pull. A long, straight cosmic string would act as a gravitational seed, attracting matter and potentially forming a line of galaxies. If such a string were to form a closed loop, it could theoretically decay, releasing a massive burst of energy and creating a spherical shockwave that could, in turn, trigger galaxy formation in a ring-like pattern. The cosmic string hypothesis is tantalizing because it offers a mechanism powerful enough to create such a large-scale structure. It is a form of new physics that could resolve the paradox. However, it remains entirely theoretical. Despite decades of searching, not a single cosmic string has ever been directly or indirectly observed. Their existence is a mathematical possibility, a ghost that haunts the equations of theoretical physicists, but has never materialized in the observable universe. To use cosmic strings to explain the Big Ring is to explain one mystery with another, even greater mystery. It is a fascinating and intellectually stimulating path, but it is a path built on pure speculation. The Big Ring could be the first piece of evidence for these exotic objects, a discovery that would revolutionize physics. Or it could be a red herring, luring us down a rabbit hole of elegant but incorrect ideas, while the true explanation lies elsewhere, hidden in plain sight. The uncomfortable whispers in the halls of cosmology turn toward an idea that many consider unscientific, yet which the structure itself seems to suggest: cosmic engineering. What if the Big Ring is not a natural formation at all? What if it is an artifact? The Kardashev scale provides a framework for imagining civilizations of immense technological capability. A Type 3 civilization would be able to harness the energy output of its entire host galaxy. Such an entity would have capabilities that, to us, would seem godlike. They would not be limited to building on planets. They could manipulate stars, reroute galactic arms, and construct habitats on a scale of thousands of light years. Could the Big Ring be a marker, a transport system, or a piece of cosmic artwork created by such a civilization? Its near-perfect geometry, so unnatural in a cosmos that favors fractal complexity, is the primary piece of evidence for this line of thought. It looks designed. While this is a thrilling thought, it is also a hypothesis of last resort. It invokes a cause, hyper-advanced aliens, that is fundamentally untestable and perhaps unknowable. It violates Occam's razor, the principle that the simplest explanation is usually the best. A new, unknown law of physics is, to a scientist, a simpler explanation than invoking an intelligence whose existence, motives, and methods are complete blanks. Furthermore, the structure is 9 billion light-years away, meaning we are observing it as it was 9 billion years ago. If it was built by a civilization in the very early universe, a cosmos that was perhaps less hospitable to the evolution of life than our own. And yet, the shape remains. It is a perfect circle, a form we associate with intent, with mathematics, with intelligence. The structure calmly challenges our scientific conservatism, forcing us to at least consider the possibility that we are not the first, nor the most ambitious builders in the universe. Let us explore another fascinating and disorienting possibility, one rooted in the very geometry of the universe itself. The theory of conformal cyclic cosmology, proposed by the physicist Roger Penrose, suggests that our universe is but one in an infinite series of eons. In this model, the end of our universe is not a final, cold death, but a transition. After an almost unimaginable length of time, when all black holes have evaporated and all matter has decayed into photons, the universe loses its sense of scale. Without mass, there is no way to measure time or distance. At this point, the infinitely large, empty future of our universe becomes mathematically identical to the infinitely small, dense state of a new Big Bang. Our universe, in essence, is born from the corpse of a previous one. What if the Big Ring is not a structure within our universe, but an imprint from the eon that came before? A scar, or a piece of information that has somehow bled through the transition from one cosmos to the next. In Penrose's model, certain events from a previous eon could leave detectable traces in our own. He specifically theorized that the collisions of supermassive black holes in the previous universe would release colossal gravitational waves, creating hotspots in the cosmic microwave background of our own universe. While the Big Ring is a structure of matter, not a temperature variation, the underlying concept is what matters: the possibility of transcosmic inheritance. Perhaps the Big Ring is a relic of a physical process from a previous universe with slightly different laws, a process that created structures on a scale our own universe cannot. It would mean that when we look at this ring of galaxies, we are seeing a ghost from a time before time, a message from a parent universe. This idea is profound and deeply philosophical. It would mean the Big Ring is not just strange, it is ancient beyond comprehension, a fossil not of our own cosmos, but of a reality that preceded ours. The existence of the Big Ring also forces us to reevaluate our understanding of the cosmic web. We know the galaxies are not distributed randomly. They are arranged in a vast, web-like structure composed of dense clusters, long filaments, and enormous voids. This cosmic web is the largest known structure in the universe, the skeleton upon which all visible matter is arranged. The Big Ring, however, does not neatly fit into this picture. It appears to be a distinct, self-contained structure, a coherent geometrical shape superimposed on top of the chaotic, fractal pattern of the cosmic web. It is also found in the same cosmic neighborhood as another perplexing megastructure known as the Giant Arc, which also spans over 3 billion light-years. The proximity of these two impossible structures deepens the mystery. Is this region of space governed by different formative principles? Are we looking at the intersection of two colossal cosmic sheets creating these patterns? The presence of both the Big Ring and the Giant Arc in the same celestial vicinity, both at a similar cosmic distance, compounds the statistical improbability to an absurd degree. The odds of one such structure forming by chance are already vanishingly small. The odds of two forming so close to one another are so infinitesimally low that the word impossible feels entirely appropriate. This clustering of anomalies suggests that whatever mechanism is responsible, it is a regional phenomenon. It points not to a universal law we have missed, but perhaps to a local feature of space-time, a peculiar cosmological domain with its own unique history and properties. It's as if we have discovered a new continent on the map of the universe, where the rules of geological formation are entirely different. This region, centered around the constellation of Bootes the Herdsman, is quickly becoming the most mysterious and important patch of sky in modern astronomy. It is crucial to sit with the feeling of not knowing. In our age of information, we are accustomed to instant answers, to data being neatly categorized and explained. Science, however, thrives at the edge of ignorance. True progress is not made by confirming what we already know, but by confronting what we cannot explain. The Big Ring is a gift of ignorance. It draws a hard boundary around our current knowledge and forces us to admit our limitations. It is a humbling object. It reminds us that our most cherished theories, like the Cosmological Principle, are not divine laws, but human models, approximations of a reality that is infinitely more complex and surprising than we have so far conceived. The discomfort and confusion that this structure generates is the engine of future discovery. It will inspire new theories, new observational strategies, and a new generation of astronomers who are comfortable with cosmic uncertainty. We might also consider the possibility that our interpretation of the data is flawed, not in its accuracy, but in its underlying assumptions. We observe a circle on the two-dimensional sphere of the sky. We infer a three-dimensional ring or shell in space. But could this be a projection effect? Could a much longer filamentary structure be oriented in such a way that it appears as a ring from our specific vantage point on Earth? This would require a coincidence of alignment so precise that it stretches credulity, but it is a possibility that must be explored. It would, however, create its own paradox. It would seem to elevate our position in the cosmos to one of special significance, the one place from which this structure appears as a perfect circle. This would be a violation of the Copernican principle, in a different guise, trading a strange structure for a privileged location. In cosmology, it seems, all roads lead back to the same philosophical dilemma. The very nature of light and time is woven into this mystery. Because the Big Ring is 9 billion light-years away, we are not seeing it as it is today. We are seeing it as it was 9 billion years ago. The light from its constituent galaxies began its journey towards Earth when the universe was less than 5 billion years old. Our sun had not yet formed. Earth did not exist. In the immense time that light has been traveling, the ring itself and the universe around it has continued to evolve. The structure may have long since dispersed, its galaxies drifting apart due to cosmic expansion. Or it may have collapsed into an even larger, denser supercluster. We are, in essence, cosmic archaeologists, studying the fossilized light of a long-dead or transformed structure. This temporal distance adds another layer of profound contemplation, a sense of looking into a deep, unrecoverable past whose echoes have only just reached our shores. The discovery raises fundamental questions about the nature of cosmic structure itself. Why does the universe build things? The interplay of gravity and dark energy is the standard answer. Gravity pulls, seeking to create clumps and structures, while dark energy pushes, seeking to drive everything apart in an accelerating expansion. The cosmic web is the result of this epic, ongoing battle. The scale of the Big Ring, however, suggests that this simple duality might be incomplete. Is there another force at play? A long-range interaction that only becomes apparent on scales of billions of light years. Physicists have long searched for a fifth force of nature beyond gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear forces. Perhaps the Big Ring is the first macroscopic evidence of such a force that sculpts the cosmos on a scale we never thought to look. Let us return to the calm, meditative state of observation. Imagine floating in the intergalactic void, far from any star. The silence is absolute. The darkness is near total, broken only by the pinpricks of impossibly distant galaxies. From this vantage point, you can see the Big Ring not as data points on a screen, but as a real physical object. A faint, almost imperceptible loop of light, a celestial smoke ring blown in the infancy of the universe. It does not rage or burn, it simply is. It hangs in the darkness, a testament to its own inexplicable existence. There is a deep peace in this image, the peace of accepting a mystery without the need for an immediate solution. It is an invitation to simply be in a state of awe, to allow the rational mind to rest and the sense of wonder to take over. The structure is a cosmic koan, a riddle not meant to be solved, but to be contemplated. The ongoing investigation into this anomaly will require a multi-pronged approach. More powerful telescopes, like the James Webb Space Telescope and the upcoming Vera C. Rubin Observatory, will be pointed towards this region of space. They will attempt to study the individual galaxies within the ring, determining their ages, their compositions, and their motions. Are they moving together as a coherent, gravitationally bound system? Or are they merely positioned in a ring, with no dynamic connection to one another? Answering this question is critical. If they are moving together, it would strengthen the case for a single, exotic formation mechanism. If they are not, it would deepen the mystery of how they achieved such a perfect alignment without being gravitationally linked. Each new piece of data will add a new chapter to this unfolding cosmic story. Consider the implications if the structure is proven to be artificial. This would be the single greatest discovery in human history, a confirmation that we are not alone, and that the universe has given rise to intelligences of staggering capability. It would shatter our terrestrial paradigms and force a complete re-evaluation of humanity's place in the cosmos. All our conflicts, our ambitions, and our philosophies would be recontextualized against the backdrop of a universe that contains builders of galaxies. It would be a moment of supreme humility and boundless inspiration, and yet it would also be a terrifying discovery. An intelligence that can build on such a scale would be to us as we are to an ant. Its motives would be unknowable, its power unimaginable. The silence from the ring would be more profound than any message it could send. We would be children who have just discovered the footprints of titans in our backyard. Now, let us consider the opposite, and perhaps more likely, outcome. That the Big Ring is a natural phenomenon, a consequence of a law of physics that is currently beyond our comprehension. This would be, in its own way, just as revolutionary. It would mean that our standard model of cosmology, a framework of incredible predictive power, is fundamentally incomplete. It would be like a biologist discovering an animal that defies the known principles of genetics and evolution. It would force a paradigm shift, a scientific revolution that rewrites our textbooks and opens up entirely new avenues of research. The discovery would not be about them, but about it, the universe itself. It would reveal that the cosmos has a capacity for self-organization and structure on a level we never dreamed possible. The universe itself would become an even more magical and mysterious place. The very act of perceiving this structure is a testament to the power of the human intellect. For billions of years, the light from these galaxies traveled through an unseeing universe. It passed nebulae, star systems, and other galaxies, its information-rich photons unobserved and unappreciated. It finally arrived at a small, rocky planet, where a species driven by insatiable curiosity had built devices capable of capturing it and deciphering its ancient message. We are the universe's way of knowing itself. The atoms in our brains, forged in the hearts of long-dead stars, are now contemplating a structure a billion light-years across. There is a beautiful closed loop in this. We are stardust, looking back out at the grander cosmic structures from which we came. The Big Ring is a mirror, reflecting not only the strangeness of the universe, but also the remarkable capacity of the human mind to perceive that strangeness. The mystery is also a lesson in cosmic perspective. On Earth, we are consumed by events on human timescales, days, years, lifetimes. We struggle to comprehend the deep time of geology or evolution. The Big Ring exists on a timescale that dwarfs even these. It was formed 9 billion years ago, and its light has traveled for a duration 3 times longer than life has existed on the continents of Earth. Contemplating this object is an exercise in mental expansion, a stretching of our temporal awareness. It connects our fleeting present moment to the deep primordial past of the cosmos. It helps to dissolve the anxieties of the immediate by placing them in the context of an almost eternal cosmic drama. In the face of a billion-year-old mystery, our own concerns find their proper, humble scale. Let's delve into the philosophical concept of cosmic fine-tuning. The universe appears to have a set of fundamental constants and initial conditions that are exquisitely balanced to allow for the existence of complex structures like stars, planets, and life. If the strength of gravity, the mass of the electron, or the value of the cosmological constant were even slightly different, the universe would be a sterile, empty void. Some see this as evidence of a designer. Others invoke the multiverse, where every possible combination of constants exists in a separate universe, and we simply find ourselves in one that allows for our existence. The Big Ring complicates this picture. It is a complex structure that seems to disobey the rules of our supposedly fine-tuned universe. It hints that perhaps the tuning is even more complex and mysterious than we thought, allowing for not just life, but for megastructures that defy our understanding of the very rules that allow them to exist. Imagine trying to describe the Big Ring to a person from 1,000 years ago. You would lack the language, the concepts, and the framework. Words like galaxy, light year, and Big Bang would be meaningless. The very scale of the object would be incomprehensible, an offense to their understanding of God and creation. This thought experiment reveals our own potential limitations. Are we, with our current science, in a similar position? Are we trying to describe a phenomenon with a conceptual toolkit that is fundamentally inadequate? Perhaps the true nature of the Big Ring cannot be expressed in the language of physics as we currently know it. It may require a new mathematical language, a new way of thinking about space, time, and information, that is as different from our current physics as quantum mechanics is from the musings of an ancient philosopher. The structure is a quiet invitation to invent that new language. There is a certain aesthetic beauty to the mystery. If we knew what the Big Ring was, if it fit neatly into a box labeled baryon acoustic oscillation or cosmic string loop, it would be satisfying, but some of the magic would be lost. It would become another catalogued object, another understood phenomenon. Its power currently lies in its resistance to classification. It is wild, untamed data. It is a piece of the sublime, that which inspires awe and a touch of terror by overwhelming our capacity for rational comprehension. The beauty of the Big Ring is the beauty of a question mark hanging over the entire cosmos. It is the suspense in the grandest story ever told, a plot twist that suggests the author of reality is far more imaginative than we ever gave them credit for. The scientific team that discovered the structure is led by a PhD student, Alexia Lopez. This is a crucial detail. It underscores that discovery is not the exclusive domain of heralded sages, but is often driven by the fresh eyes and unbiased perspective of the next generation. A student not yet fully indoctrinated into the established dogma might be more open to seeing a pattern that a seasoned professor might dismiss as noise. The discovery of the Big Ring is a testament to the scientific process at its best, a meticulous, patient search of the data, an openness to unexpected results, and the courage to announce a finding that challenges the foundations of the field. It is a human story of curiosity and diligence playing out on a cosmic stage, a reminder that the grandest discoveries often begin with a single, dedicated mind asking a simple question: what am I looking at? One must also consider the role of voids in the universe. The cosmic web is not just made of filaments and clusters, it is equally defined by the vast, empty regions in between. These cosmic voids are the most desolate places in the universe, enormous bubbles of near-nothingness. The galaxies that make up the Big Ring appear to be tracing the edge of one such void, like a string of pearls draped around an invisible sphere. Could the formation of the ring be related not to an attractive force, but to an outward pressure from the void itself? Some exotic theories propose that cosmic voids are not truly empty, but are driven by a different form of dark energy, one that actively repels matter. Perhaps the Big Ring is not a structure that was built, but a boundary that was carved out by the expansion of a colossal void. This flips the problem on its head, suggesting the ring is an effect, not a cause. Let us relax our minds and float back into the sheer sensory experience of the cosmos. The light from these ancient galaxies is not just a data point. It is a physical thing. Photons, particles of light that have traveled unimpeded for 9 billion years. Each photon is a tiny packet of energy, a messenger from a bygone era. It has journeyed through the expanding, darkening universe, a lonely traveler on an impossibly long road. When it finally strikes the detector of a telescope on Earth, its journey is over. It imparts its tiny quantum of energy, adding one more piece to a puzzle of cosmic proportions. There is a quiet poetry in this. The universe is a story written in light, and we are the fortunate ones who have learned how to read its most ancient and mysterious pages. The confirmation of the Big Ring also has a subtle but profound impact on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI. Most SETI searches are focused on detecting radio signals or laser beacons from nearby star systems within our own galaxy. The assumption is that we should look for technology on a scale we can understand. But what if advanced intelligence operates on a scale so vast that we wouldn't even recognize it as technology? What if the evidence is not in narrowband radio signals but in the very arrangement of galaxies on the sky? The Big Ring, whether natural or not, forces us to consider cosmic archaeology as a legitimate form of SETI. We may need to search for intelligence not by listening for whispers, but by looking for architecture, for evidence of cosmic landscaping written into the very fabric of the universe. Let's consider the concept of a cosmological crisis. This is a term used when multiple, independent observations begin to contradict the standard, accepted model of the universe. We are currently in such a crisis. There are discrepancies in the measured rate of the universe's expansion, the so-called Hubble tension. There are unexpected cold spots in the cosmic microwave background. And now, there are megastructures like the Big Ring and the giant arc that should not exist. These are not isolated problems. They are a collection of anomalies that all point to the same conclusion. Our understanding of cosmology is missing something fundamental. We are not just refining a theory. We may be on the cusp of overthrowing it. The Big Ring is not just a strange object. It is a key piece of evidence in a growing case against the cosmological status quo. The structure's existence could be a subtle clue about the nature of dark matter. This mysterious, invisible substance makes up about 85% of the matter in the universe. We know it exists because of its gravitational effects on visible matter, but we do not know what it is. Its properties are a giant blank in our theories. We assume it is cold and collisionless, meaning it clumps together slowly under gravity. But what if it has other properties? What if, under certain conditions, it can interact with itself in ways that produce large-scale repulsive forces or coherent structures? Perhaps the Big Ring is not made of galaxies, but is merely traced by them. The true structure could be a ring of exotic dark matter, and the galaxies are simply a luminous foam that has collected along its gravitational contours. This would mean the strangest visible structure is merely a signpost for an even stranger invisible one. We can try to visualize the journey of a single photon from the Big Ring to Earth. It is emitted from a star in a young, turbulent galaxy 9 billion years ago. It leaves its home, traveling at the ultimate speed limit. For millions of years, it journeys through the intergalactic medium of its own galaxy cluster. Then, for billions of years, it crosses the vast, lonely voids between the filaments of the cosmic web. The universe expands around it, stretching its wavelength, redshifting its energy from a vibrant blue or white to a faint, cool red. It dodges the gravitational pull of countless unseen objects. It sees the universe age, cool, and grow dark. Finally, in the last fraction of a second of its epic voyage, it enters the atmosphere of a small, watery planet and is captured by a mirror in a telescope. The entire history of our solar system is just a brief moment at the very end of its long life. The psychological effect of this discovery is a feeling of being unmoored. Our theories of the cosmos are our anchors in a vast and potentially chaotic reality. They give us a sense of place, of history, of predictability. The Big Ring cuts at these anchors. It suggests the map we have been using is not just incomplete, but perhaps fundamentally wrong. This can be a source of anxiety, but it can also be profoundly liberating. It means the universe is not a closed book, not a solved puzzle. It is a place of boundless potential and genuine, deep mystery. It restores a sense of wonder that can sometimes be lost in the technical details of scientific models. It tells us that the adventure of discovery is far from over. In fact, it may have only just begun. The universe is still full of dragons. Let us return to the most challenging hypothesis, that of intent. If an intelligence built this, why a ring? A ring is a symbol of eternity, of unity, of a cycle with no beginning or end. It is a shape that holds deep meaning for humans. Is it possible that this is a universal symbol, rooted in the fundamental mathematics that any intelligent species would eventually discover? Perhaps it is a gateway, a cosmic-scale particle accelerator, or a boundary marker for a vast cosmic territory. The purpose of such an object would be as far beyond our comprehension as the purpose of a supercomputer is to a bacterium. To even speculate on its function is an act of supreme anthropocentric projection. Its true purpose, if it has one, may be something that our brains are not structured to comprehend. We may be looking at the equivalent of a divine artifact, whose meaning is reserved for the gods who made it. The implications for the future of humanity are subtle but significant. Knowing that such structures are possible, even if they are natural, changes our perception of the future. It suggests that the universe has a potential for organization that could, in the far future, be harnessed. If nature can create a ring of galaxies, perhaps a sufficiently advanced civilization could too. It expands our cosmic imagination, the set of possibilities we consider for the long-term future of intelligent life. It suggests that the ultimate destiny of life may not be confined to planets or even solar systems, but could play out on the grand stage of intergalactic structures. The Big Ring is a vision of a possible future, a glimpse of the scale on which our distant descendants or other intelligences might one day operate. It is a silent promise of the potential that lies dormant in the laws of physics. The structure is a powerful antidote to cosmic loneliness. Even if it is a natural formation, its existence demonstrates that the universe is not a boring, uniform expanse. It is a place of wonders, of unique and breathtaking features. It is a universe with landmarks. Just as sailors of old navigated by unique coastlines and islands, future cosmic travelers might navigate by the giant arc and the Big Ring. These structures give the universe a sense of character, of geography. They make it a place worth exploring, a home that is not homogeneous, but filled with strange and beautiful sights. The discovery makes our universe feel less like an empty ocean and more like a vast, unexplored wilderness, full of hidden valleys and towering, impossible mountains. We must also acknowledge the possibility that it is an illusion of a different kind. Not an error in the data, but an error in our pattern recognition software, the human brain. Our minds are exquisitely tuned to find patterns, faces, and familiar shapes in random noise. This is called pareidolia. We see a man in the moon, or animals in the clouds. Is it possible that the Big Ring is a form of cosmic pareidolia? That a collection of randomly distributed galaxies has, by sheer chance, formed a pattern that our brains interpret as a perfect circle? The statistical analysis suggests this is extremely unlikely, with a probability of less than 0.00003%. But it is not zero. Science must remain open to the humbling possibility that the strangest structure in the universe is not out there in the cosmos, but is a phantom projected by our own innate desire to find order in the chaos. The calm acceptance of this mystery is a form of meditation. As your mind quiets, let go of the need for a definitive explanation. Allow the competing theories, the cosmic strings, the echoes of a past universe, the alien artifacts, the statistical flukes to coexist without conflict. Let them be a cloud of possibilities, a testament to the richness of the cosmos and the fertility of the human imagination. The true state of knowledge is not to have an answer, but to hold all the questions in a state of peaceful, attentive suspense. The Big Ring is a focal point for this cosmic meditation. It is a single object that contains within it all the grand questions of our existence. Where did we come from? Are we alone? What are the ultimate laws of nature? And what lies beyond the horizon of our understanding? Consider the name itself, the Big Ring. It is simple, almost childlike. It belies the profound complexity and significance of the object. This simplicity is a hallmark of scientific nomenclature when faced with the truly novel. We call the birth of our universe the Big Bang, a term once used mockingly. This plain language is a sign of authenticity. It is the language of discoverers who are so stunned by the what that they have no time for poetic embellishments of the what to call it. The name is humble, direct, and honest. It does not pretend to understand, it merely describes the shape. It is a label placed on a box of wonders, a box we have only just begun to pry open. The journey into its contents will define cosmology for decades to come, a quiet revolution sparked by a simple shape in an unexpected place. The energy scales involved in the formation of the Big Ring, regardless of the mechanism, are staggering. To arrange over 1 billion light-years of matter into a coherent structure requires an energy budget that dwarfs anything we can conceive of. The combined energy output of all the stars in our Milky Way galaxy over its entire lifetime would be a negligible fraction of what is needed. If it was a natural process, it must have been a cataclysmic event in the early universe, a phase transition or decay of a field that released an almost unimaginable torrent of energy. If it was artificial, it implies a technology that can manipulate space-time itself, converting mass to energy and shaping the gravitational field on a galactic scale. Either way, we are looking at the result of a process whose power is of a truly cosmic and primordial magnitude. Let us contemplate the silence. The Big Ring is not emitting any signals. It is not broadcasting its presence. It is a quiet, passive structure, revealed only by the absence of light it blocks from quasars far behind it. This silence is profound. If it is an artifact, its builders are either long gone or they have no interest in communicating. If it is a natural structure, it is a part of the silent, indifferent majesty of the cosmos. This lack of an overt message is, in itself, a kind of message. It tells us that the universe does not necessarily offer up its secrets willingly. They must be painstakingly excavated from the background noise. Understanding the cosmos requires not just looking, but a deep, active, and patient form of listening to the silence, and learning to interpret the subtle clues hidden within the quiet dark. The discovery process highlights a fundamental shift in astronomy. For centuries, astronomy was about looking at things. Now, increasingly, it is about not seeing things. Dark matter is known by the gravity of what we cannot see. Dark energy is known by the accelerating expansion we cannot explain. Exoplanets are often found by the dip in starlight when an unseen planet passes in front. The Big Ring was found by the shadows it casts in the light of quasars. We are mapping the universe by its voids, its shadows, and its absences. It is a strange, inverse form of cartography, where the most important discoveries are made by studying the negative space. It suggests that the most profound secrets of the cosmos may not be in the brilliant light of stars, but in the subtle and complex structure of the darkness in between. Imagine yourself standing on a planet within one of the galaxies of the Big Ring. What would the sky look like? 9 billion years ago, your night sky would have been dominated by a spectacular band of galaxies, a luminous arc stretching from horizon to horizon. You would be part of a cosmic community, your galaxy's closest neighbors arranged not in a random clump, but in a deliberate-looking curve. Would the inhabitants of such a world develop a different cosmology, a different mythology? Would the obvious large-scale structure in their sky lead them to different conclusions about the nature of the universe? Perhaps they would never have conceived of a cosmological principle of uniformity. Their universe would, from their perspective, have an obvious grand architecture. It is a humbling thought that our most basic assumptions about the cosmos might be a product of our specific, and perhaps unremarkable, location. This object exists at the very limit of our observational technology, which is a recurring theme in the history of science. Each time we build a more powerful instrument, we discover a new layer of reality that was previously invisible, and this new layer often contains phenomena that challenge our existing theories. The telescope revealed the moons of Jupiter, shattering the geocentric model. radio astronomy revealed quasars and pulsars. The Hubble Space Telescope revealed the accelerating expansion of the universe. The Big Ring is the latest in this long tradition. It is a first light discovery for a new kind of cosmological sight, the ability to map vast structures in 3 dimensions using quasar absorption lines. It is a reminder that what we currently see is not all there is. Beyond the horizon of our current capabilities, even stranger structures and more profound mysteries are almost certainly waiting. Let's consider the texture of the universe. On small scales, it is clumpy and discrete. Planets, stars, asteroids. On medium scales, it is galactic, with spiral arms and glowing cores. On large scales, it is filamentary and web-like. The Big Ring introduces a new texture, coherent, geometric, and circular. It is as if we discovered that in a vast desert of sand, there was a single perfect ring of glass 1,000 miles across. Such a feature demands an explanation beyond the normal wind and erosion that shapes the rest of the landscape. It implies a different kind of physics, a different geological event. The Big Ring is a textural anomaly in the fabric of spacetime, a place where the weave of the cosmos is different. Understanding the origin of this new cosmic texture is now one of the central goals of modern cosmology. As we conclude this journey, let the scale of the Big Ring settle into your mind. It is a structure so vast that our own Milky Way galaxy would be like a single grain of sand within it. It is so ancient that its light has been traveling to us since before the Earth was formed. It is so mysterious that it challenges our most fundamental understanding of the universe. And yet, it is also a source of deep calm. Its existence is a testament to the infinite capacity of the universe to surprise and inspire us. It is a cosmic anchor for our sense of wonder. It does not provide answers, but instead it offers a perfect, eternal question, written in the language of stars and galaxies across a canvas of billions of light years. Allow the weight of this cosmic mystery to be a comforting presence. It is a reminder that we live in a universe that is still largely unknown, a place of profound beauty and boundless possibility. The questions raised by the Big Ring will not be answered tonight, or perhaps even in our lifetimes. And that is perfectly fine. The journey of understanding is long, and the purpose is not merely to arrive at a destination, but to marvel at the vistas along the way. The Big Ring is perhaps the grandest vista that cosmology has ever revealed. Let its silent, circular form be a guide for your mind as it drifts, a symbol of the deep, peaceful, and unending mystery of the cosmic night. The quiet of the cosmos is not an emptiness, but a plenum of potential. Every direction we look, we are gazing into the deep past, and every new instrument we build reveals a history more complex than we imagined. The Big Ring is not an endpoint of discovery, but a doorway. It has fundamentally altered our map of the known universe, adding a feature that is both terrifyingly large and beautifully simple. As you rest, let your own consciousness expand to try and touch the edges of this structure. Feel the immense scale, the profound silence, and the patient, waiting mystery of it all. The universe has shown us one of its most enigmatic creations, and the proper response is not frantic analysis, but a quiet, meditative, and deeply felt sense of awe. Let us explore the philosophical implications of a universe that contains such structures. If the cosmological principle is violated, it means that the universe is not homogeneous. This could imply that the laws of physics themselves are not universal, but could vary from one cosmic domain to another. Our region of space may have one set of physical constants and potentials, while the region containing the Big Ring and the giant arc has another. This concept, known as a multi-domain universe, is a step beyond the multiverse. It suggests that different universes with different laws might not be separated by impenetrable barriers, but could exist as different regions within our own single vast cosmos. We might be able to, in theory, observe these other domains. The Big Ring could be our first glimpse across the border into a different kind of reality, one embedded within our own. The very light we use to detect this structure provides a deep, contemplative irony. The quasars whose light is being blocked are some of the most violent and energetic objects in the cosmos. They are powered by matter screaming into supermassive black holes at near the speed of light, releasing more energy than entire galaxies. Yet, we use these beacons of cosmic violence to detect a structure that is, by all appearances, serene, stable, and silent. It is a perfect metaphor for the scientific process, using the loud to understand the quiet. The Big Ring does not announce itself. Its existence is inferred from the interruption of a much more dramatic process happening billions of light-years behind it. This subtle interplay of shadow and light, of the silent and the roaring, is the very essence of astronomical discovery at the cosmic frontier. Consider the information content of the universe. A prevailing theory in modern physics, the holographic principle, suggests that all the information contained within a volume of space can be described by a theory that lives on the boundary of that space, like a hologram. This has led to speculation that our three-dimensional universe could be a projection of information stored on a two-dimensional surface at the cosmic horizon. How does a structure like the Big Ring fit into this concept? A billion light-year-wide structure of such specific geometry would represent an immense amount of stored information, arranged in a highly non-random way. Does this challenge the holographic principle, or does it provide a clue as to how that information is encoded? The Big Ring is not just a physical object. It is a piece of cosmic data that could hold the key to understanding the fundamental relationship between information, geometry, and reality itself. Let us meditate on the concept of scale itself. Our minds evolved to understand scales relevant to our survival: the distance to a predator, the height of a tree. We invented mathematics to handle larger scales, the size of a mountain, the diameter of the Earth. But the scale of the Big Ring is of a different order entirely. It is a translogical scale, one that cannot be intuitively grasped or visualized. We can write down the number 1.3 billion light-years, but we cannot feel it. This gap between our intellectual understanding and our intuitive feeling is a source of sublime awe. Allowing your mind to simply rest in this gap, to acknowledge the immensity without struggling to contain it, is a profound meditative practice. The Big Ring teaches us the humility of our own cognitive limits in the face of the cosmic infinite. The search for an explanation will likely involve a process of elimination, a cosmic detective story. Astronomers will meticulously model every conceivable natural explanation, pushing the parameters of known physics to their absolute limits. They will simulate galaxy formation with new variables, they will model exotic gravitational effects, they will refine the predictions of BAOs and cosmic strings. Each of these models will be compared against the precise data of the Big Ring's shape, size, and the properties of its member galaxies. Only if every single one of these conventional, albeit exotic, explanations fails to match the evidence, will the scientific community be forced to turn to more revolutionary ideas. This slow, methodical process is less dramatic than a sudden eureka moment, but it is the bedrock of scientific progress. The Big Ring will be a whetstone upon which the next generation of cosmological theories will be sharpened. What if the structure is part of an even larger pattern? We have the Big Ring and the giant arc in the same region. Are they components of a single, even more colossal structure that we cannot yet fully perceive? Our sky surveys are still incomplete, and our methods for detecting these structures are new. It is possible that as we map more of the distant universe, we will find that these are not isolated anomalies, but are nodes or intersections in a pattern of unimaginable size and complexity, a kind of hyperstructure that dwarfs even the cosmic web. This possibility is both thrilling and daunting. It would mean that the largest thing we have ever seen is actually just a small piece of something incomprehensibly larger. Our cosmic map is not just being redrawn, it is being revealed as a tiny corner of a much vaster and stranger atlas. Let us consider the rotational dynamics. One of the key future observations will be to measure the redshift of each galaxy in the ring with extreme precision. This will reveal their line-of-sight velocity, telling us if they are moving towards us or away from us. If the ring is a stable, rotating structure, we should see one side of the ring systematically redshifted, moving away, and the other side blue-shifted, moving towards us. The detection of such a coherent, large-scale rotation would be an explosive discovery. An object a billion light-years across cannot rotate in the conventional sense. The time it would take to complete one revolution would be longer than the age of the universe. Finding evidence of rotation would shatter our understanding of angular momentum and dynamics on cosmic scales, and would strongly point towards an exotic, non-gravitational origin. The philosophical principle of mediocrity states that our position in the universe is likely to be unremarkable. The Big Ring is a direct challenge to this. It suggests that there are, in fact, remarkable places in the universe. If we lived within the Big Ring, our cosmic view would be fundamentally different and privileged. This raises the unsettling question. If such special places exist, what does that say about our own mediocre location? It could mean that life is more likely to arise in these boring, average regions. Or, it could mean that we are simply too young a species to have discovered the truly special nature of our own cosmic neighborhood. The Big Ring forces us to question our own mediocrity, to wonder if our quiet corner of the cosmos is truly as plain as it appears, or if we are simply not looking at it with the right eyes yet. Imagine the Big Ring not as a static object, but as a wave. In quantum field theory, particles are just excitations of underlying fields that permeate all of spacetime. Perhaps the Big Ring is a macroscopic manifestation of such a field, a standing wave in some unknown cosmic field frozen into the distribution of matter. This field could be a scalar field left over from the inflationary epoch of the Big Bang, a candidate for dark energy. If so, the ring would be a fossil of the universe's first moments, a ripple from the Big Bang that has been magnified by cosmic expansion to its current breathtaking scale. In this view, the galaxies are not the structure itself. They are merely buoys on the surface of a deep ocean, revealing the shape of a colossal, invisible wave that rolls silently through the fabric of reality. The existence of the Big Ring has a profound, if subtle, theological implication. Many belief systems are built upon the idea of a creator who is orderly and whose designs are elegant and purposeful. A chaotic, random universe can be seen as running counter to this idea. The Big Ring, with its perfect geometry and impossible scale, could be interpreted by some as evidence of a divine architect, a fingerprint of God, written in the language of galaxies. Science, of course, does not deal in such explanations, but it is important to acknowledge the power of such an object to resonate with deep-seated human needs for meaning, purpose, and evidence of a grand design. The structure is a Rorschach test on a cosmic scale, and what one sees in it, a statistical fluke, an alien artifact, or a divine sign, reveals more about the observer than the object itself. Let's consider the composition of the galaxies within the ring. Are they all of a similar age and type? Or are they a random assortment of old, red, elliptical galaxies and young, blue, star-forming spiral galaxies? This information is crucial. If the galaxies are all of a similar age, it would strongly suggest they were all formed at the same time by a single, catastrophic event, lending credence to theories like cosmic string decay or primordial shockwaves. If they are a mix of ages, it would be much harder to explain. It would imply that the ring is a location, a specific place in space where galaxies of all types are drawn or formed over billions of years, perhaps due to a persistent, underlying structure in spacetime itself. The James Webb Telescope is the perfect instrument for this task, capable of analyzing the starlight from these incredibly faint, distant galaxies to determine their history. The Big Ring exists in a state of quantum-like superposition in our minds. Until we have a definitive explanation, it is simultaneously natural and artificial, a coincidence and a design, a physical object and a philosophical paradox. Holding these contradictory ideas in your mind at the same time, without collapsing them into a single answer, is a powerful mental state. It is the state of pure inquiry. This is the state where new ideas are born. As you drift and relax, do not seek certainty about the ring. Instead, embrace the superposition. Let the object be everything it could possibly be, all at once. This mental flexibility is a mirror of the universe itself, a place that is constantly revealing itself to be more complex, more nuanced, and more wonderfully strange than our previous models allowed. The discovery also serves as a cautionary tale about cosmological simulations. Our understanding of the universe is increasingly reliant on massive computer simulations that model the evolution of the cosmos from the Big Bang to the present day. These simulations are incredibly powerful, but they are only as good as the physics we program into them. If our input physics is incomplete, the simulated universes will not match reality. The Big Ring is a clear indication that our simulations are missing a key ingredient. It is a bug report from reality itself, telling our best modelers that they have more work to do. It will force the creators of these artificial universes to go back to their blackboards and ask, what force, what field, what initial condition are we missing that would allow such a titan to form in our models? Let us contemplate the aesthetic of the cosmos revealed by the Big Ring. It suggests that the universe is not just governed by the messy, fractal beauty of chaos and complexity, but also by the clean, elegant beauty of geometry. It is as if the universe is both a wild, overgrown jungle and a formal, manicured garden. This duality is profound. It means that the cosmos contains within it multiple seemingly contradictory aesthetic principles. Why would this be? Perhaps it is a reflection of the underlying mathematics that governs reality, which contains both chaotic equations and elegant, simple theorems. The Big Ring is a theorem made manifest, a piece of cosmic geometry that is as pure and surprising as the discovery of the Pythagorean theorem. It is a sign that the universe is, at its deepest level, a mathematical object of breathtaking beauty. The future observation of this object may involve looking for gravitational lensing effects. A structure of such immense mass should, in theory, warp the space-time around it. This means that the light from galaxies located far behind the Big Ring should be bent and distorted as it passes by. By carefully mapping these minute distortions, we could create a mass map of the ring, revealing its true gravitational footprint. This would allow us to determine if the structure is primarily made of visible matter, the galaxies, or if it is dominated by an even larger, unseen ring of dark matter. This would be a crucial test to distinguish between different formation theories. A strong gravitational lensing signal would support ideas involving massive cosmic strings or primordial black hole clusters, while a weak signal might favor more ephemeral explanations like BAOs. The Big Ring can be seen as a form of cosmic art. If we define art as a pattern that evokes an emotional and intellectual response, then the ring is arguably the largest piece of art ever discovered. It was not created by a human hand, and may not have been created by any hand at all, but it fulfills the function of art. It challenges our perceptions. It inspires awe. It forces us to ask deep questions about our reality, and it possesses a profound, mysterious beauty. Viewing the Big Ring through this artistic lens can be a liberating experience. It allows us to appreciate the object for what it is, a source of wonder, without the immediate pressure of scientific explanation. It is a masterpiece from the, quote, school of nature, a land artist whose medium is galaxies and whose canvas is the universe itself. Let's consider the temporal aspect from a different angle. The structure is 9 billion light-years away. This means it's located at a redshift of approximately z equals 0.8. This was a very specific era in cosmic history, a time of transition. The universe's expansion was just beginning to switch from being dominated by matter and therefore decelerating, to being dominated by dark energy and therefore accelerating. Is the ring's existence tied to this cosmic tipping point? Did the fundamental shift in the dynamics of cosmic expansion trigger the formation of such large structures, or perhaps freeze them into place? This would make the ring not just a strange object, but a crucial fossil of the most significant transition in the universe's history since the Big Bang. It would be a monument marking the moment the cosmic tide turned, and darkness began to win the war against gravity. The discovery invites a sense of deep, time empathy. Try to imagine the universe as it was when the ring formed. It was a younger, hotter, more compact, and more violent place. The first massive stars were exploding as powerful supernovae, enriching the cosmos with heavy elements for the first time. Galaxies were constantly colliding and merging in a chaotic cosmic dance. It was out of this turbulent, formative period that this serene, orderly structure emerged. This juxtaposition is powerful. It is like a perfect, delicate flower growing in the midst of a volcanic eruption. The existence of the Big Ring gives us a new appreciation for the early universe, revealing it to be a place not just of chaos, but of surprisingly sophisticated and large-scale order. The Big Ring is a challenge to our cosmic narrative. The story we tell about the universe is one of increasing complexity, from a simple, hot soup to stars, galaxies, planets, and life. It is a story of bottom-up construction. The Big Ring is a top-down feature. It is a large-scale order that seems to exist without the necessary smaller-scale history to build it. It's as if we found the roof of a house suspended in the air with no walls or foundation beneath it. This forces us to question our narrative. Was the universe's evolution more complex than a simple bottom-up process? Were there top-down organizing principles at work in the early cosmos that we have not yet accounted for? The ring suggests the story of the universe might need a new chapter, one that describes a very different kind of cosmic construction. Let us conclude our contemplation by focusing on the feeling of peace that this mystery can bring. In a world often filled with urgent, solvable, and stressful problems, it is a profound relief to be confronted with a problem that is none of those things. The mystery of the Big Ring is not urgent. It has waited 9 billion years for us to notice it. It is not easily solvable. It may take generations to understand. And it is not stressful. It is a source of pure, unadulterated wonder. Allowing your mind to rest on this grand, peaceful, and unsolvable puzzle is a form of mental liberation. It is an escape into the sublime. As you drift off to sleep, let the image of a silent, glowing ring of galaxies hanging in the infinite dark be your final, calming thought. It is a symbol of a universe far stranger, more beautiful, and more mysterious than we can ever fully know. The very idea of a structure in cosmology is being redefined by this discovery. Previously, the largest acknowledged structures were superclusters and filaments, amorphous and sprawling collections of galaxies shaped by the gravitational tides of the cosmic web. They are defined by density, by an excess of matter compared to the cosmic average. The Big Ring, however, is defined not just by density but by geometry. Its identity is rooted in its shape, a near-perfect circle. This is a paradigm shift. It suggests that the organizing principles of the universe might include geometric coherence on scales where it was thought to be impossible. We may need to develop new mathematical tools to search for other geometric structures in cosmological data, looking not just for clumps but for lines, spheres, and other platonic forms hidden in the distribution of galaxies. The universe may be a far more geometric entity than our current theories of chaotic gravitational collapse would have us believe. Consider the perspective of the photons themselves, if they could have one. For a photon traveling at the speed of light, time does not pass. From its own frame of reference, its emission from a distant star and its absorption by a telescope on Earth are instantaneous. The 9 billion-year journey that we measure does not exist for the photon itself. This consequence of special relativity adds another layer of profound strangeness to the observation. Our reality, with its vast distances and deep time, is just one frame of reference. The information about the Big Ring has crossed the cosmos in a timeless, instantaneous flash. From the perspective of the information carrier itself, we are receiving a message that, for the messenger, was sent and received at the same moment. This deep connection between time, speed, and observation is a fundamental aspect of the cosmic mystery we are trying to unravel. The fact that the Big Ring and the giant arc were discovered by the same team using the same methods is significant. It suggests that these are not flukes found by chance, but are the first examples of a new class of object that we are only now able to detect. This is a common pattern in astronomy. The first exoplanet discovery in 1992 opened the floodgates, and we now know of thousands. The first gravitational wave detection in 2015 has been followed by dozens more. It is highly probable that we are at the beginning of a new era of megastructure astronomy. As we apply these quasar absorption line techniques to other parts of the sky, we may find more rings, arcs, and other geometric patterns. The universe might be filled with these impossible structures, and we have only just now crafted the key to see them. The cosmos of the next century could look radically different from the one we know today. Let us explore the concept of causality in relation to the Big Ring. The principle of causality states that an effect cannot occur before its cause. In cosmology, this is tied to the speed of light, which sets the maximum speed at which any information or physical influence can travel. A structure that is 1.3 billion light-years across could not have formed through any standard causal process since the Big Bang, because there has not been enough time for one end of the structure to know about the other end. To assemble the ring would require coordination across a region of space far larger than the causal horizon of any point within it. This is the heart of the physical paradox. Explanations like cosmic strings or echoes from a previous eon are appealing precisely because they are causal from the perspective of our universe's timeline. They introduce a formative influence from outside our standard model of cosmic history, providing a way to bypass this fundamental constraint. The emotional response of the astronomical community to this discovery is a mix of excitement and deep discomfort. Excitement, Because a genuine, profound anomaly is the most thrilling thing a scientist can hope for. It's the promise of new territory to explore. But there is also discomfort, because it threatens to overturn decades of established theory and hard-won understanding. The cosmological principle is not just a line in a textbook. It's a deeply ingrained way of seeing the universe, a piece of conceptual bedrock. To have that bedrock crack is unsettling. This tension is the lifeblood of science. It is the friction between the known and the unknown, between the comfort of an established paradigm and the exhilarating, terrifying prospect of a new one. The Big Ring is the focal point of that creative tension. We can think of the universe as a book written in a language we are only beginning to decipher. For a long time, we have been learning the grammar, the syntax, the basic vocabulary, the laws of gravity, the properties of stars. We thought we were getting good at reading it. Then, we turn a page and find a passage like the Big Ring. This passage is not just using words we don't know. It seems to be written with a different grammar entirely. It doesn't follow the rules of the language we have so carefully learned. This is humbling. It tells us we are still in the introductory chapters of this cosmic book. There are subtleties, complexities, and perhaps entire genres of storytelling in the universe that we are not yet equipped to appreciate. The Big Ring is a call to become better readers of the cosmos. The very darkness of the night sky, a phenomenon known as Olber's paradox, is deeply connected to this story. If the universe were infinite, static, and uniformly filled with stars, the entire night sky would be as bright as the surface of the sun. The darkness we see is evidence that the universe is not static, that it had a beginning, the Big Bang, and that the light from the most distant objects has not had time to reach us, or has been redshifted out of the visible spectrum. The Big Ring, a structure that challenges the uniform part of that assumption, adds a fascinating wrinkle. It suggests the darkness is not just a homogeneous void, but a richly textured fabric, with colossal, invisible patterns woven into it. The simple fact that we can look up at a dark sky is the starting point for all of cosmology. And the Big Ring is the latest, most profound chapter in our quest to understand the nature of that darkness. Consider the materials. The ring is made of galaxies, which are in turn made of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter. The visible matter, the hydrogen, helium, and heavier elements, was all synthesized in the Big Bang or in the hearts of stars. This means that the very atoms that constitute this impossible structure are the same kinds of atoms that constitute you. The fundamental building blocks are universal. What is different is the blueprint, the architectural plan that has arranged these universal components into a structure of such unprecedented scale and geometry. The mystery is not in the bricks, but in the architect. Whether that architect is an unknown law of nature, or something else entirely, is the question that now hangs over the entire field of cosmology, a silent, circular enigma waiting patiently for an answer. The nature of scientific truth is illuminated by this discovery. In science, truth is not absolute or final. It is a provisional understanding, our best current model, based on the available evidence. These models are always subject to revision in the light of new, contradictory data. The Big Ring is a powerful piece of contradictory data. It does not mean that all of modern cosmology is wrong, but it does mean that it is incomplete. The process of incorporating the ring into our models will be a beautiful demonstration of science in action. It will involve debate, new hypotheses, further observations, and the eventual forging of a new, more comprehensive truth that can account for both the old evidence and this new, strange anomaly. It is a reminder that science is not a body of facts, but a dynamic, self-correcting process of inquiry. As we drift in this sea of cosmic possibilities, let the scale of human endeavor find its place. We build cities, we write symphonies, we create civilizations. These are our megastructures. And yet, the universe, through processes we do not yet understand, has produced a structure to which our entire planet is but a microscopic speck of dust. There is a deep and profound comfort in this. It releases us from the burden of cosmic importance. We are not the pinnacle of creation. We are a curious and fortunate part of it. We are the observers, the witnesses, the ones who get to look out into the grand theater and gasp in wonder. The Big Ring is a gift to that sense of wonder. a cosmic spectacle that reminds us of our smallness, and in doing so connects us to the infinite grandeur of it all. Let's consider the concept of cosmic variance. Even if the universe is homogeneous on the largest scales, statistical fluctuations will always create regions that are denser or emptier than average. The question is whether the Big Ring can be explained as an extreme, but statistically possible, fluctuation. The calculations so far suggest this is incredibly unlikely, a 6 sigma event or rarer, meaning it's a deviation from the mean so extreme that it happens less than once in 500 million chances. While not strictly impossible, relying on such an explanation is deeply unsatisfying for most scientists. It's equivalent to explaining a perfect royal flush in a poker game by saying, quote, "It just happened," without considering the possibility of a skilled player or a stacked deck. Science seeks causal explanations, not just statistical miracles. The improbability of the Big Ring is what forces us to look for new physics, for the cosmic equivalent of a stacked deck. What would it be like to travel through the ring? Imagine a spacecraft on a journey of millions of years. For an immense stretch of time, you would be in the void, with galaxies as distant points of light. Then you would begin to enter the structure. The density of galaxies would increase dramatically. Instead of a lonely night sky, you would be surrounded by a celestial city of light. Entire galaxies, with their billions of stars, would hang in your sky like neighboring islands. Navigating through this would be a surreal experience, a journey through a cosmic megalopolis. Then, after another immense stretch of time, you would pass through the other side and emerge back into the lonely void. The memory of that river of galaxies would be a testament to the fact that the universe is not uniform, that it contains oases of incredible density and beauty in its vast deserts of emptiness. The ring's discovery is also a story about light pollution in a cosmic sense. We can only detect the structure by observing the light of quasars that are even more distant than the ring itself. This means that to see this colossal object, we need a clear, unobstructed line of sight through 9 billion light-years of space. If our view were blocked by a dense nebula or a nearby galaxy cluster, the ring would remain invisible to us. This highlights the incredible fortune of our observational position. We live in a relatively clean patch of the universe, a cosmic suburb that allows us an astonishingly clear view into the deep, distant cosmos. Our ability to do cosmology is a happy accident of our location. It is a quiet privilege, this clear window that allows us to peer into the universe's most ancient and profound secrets. Let us contemplate the shape itself, the circle. In nearly every human culture, the circle represents wholeness, perfection, eternity, and the divine. It is the shape of the sun, the full moon, the pupil of an eye. It is a shape that implies a center, a radius, a perfect and constant relationship between all points on its circumference. To find this shape, a shape so deeply embedded in our own psychology and symbolism, written on a scale of 1 billion light-years, is profoundly resonant. It feels like a communication, a symbol we are primed to understand. This is perhaps the most seductive and dangerous aspect of the discovery. It's easy to project our own human meanings onto it. The discipline of science requires us to resist this temptation, to study the object on its own terms, while the philosophical part of us can't help but marvel at the echo of our own deepest symbols in the architecture of the cosmos. The energy signature of the ring is another area of future study. While it is passive now, its formation must have been energetic. Could there be a remnant energy signature in the cosmic microwave background radiation in that direction? A faint temperature fluctuation, a polarization anomaly, or a subtle gravitational wave echo? Scientists are now combing through the incredibly detailed maps of the CMB from the Planck satellite, looking for any trace correlation with the ring's position. Finding such a counterpart in the universe's baby picture would be a smoking gun. It would link this structure directly to the physics of the primordial universe, providing a crucial clue to distinguish between theories like BAOs, cosmic strings, or something even more bizarre. The silent ring may have left a faint whisper in the oldest light in the universe. Consider the ring in the context of cosmic evolution. Structures in the universe are not permanent. They are subject to the relentless expansion of space and the pull of gravity. Over trillions of years, the galaxies in the ring, if not gravitationally bound, will drift apart, its perfect circular form dissolving into the expanding void. Eventually, the stars within those galaxies will burn out, the black holes will evaporate, and all that will be left is a cold, dark, and empty universe. We exist in a lucky cosmological moment, the stelliferous era, when the universe is filled with stars and interesting structures. We are privileged to be alive to witness phenomena like the Big Ring. In the far future, such discoveries will be impossible. The ring is a fleeting masterpiece, a temporary arrangement that we have the incredible good fortune to observe and contemplate. The mystery of the ring is a lesson in intellectual humility. For much of the 20th century, cosmologists believed they were on the verge of a final theory, a complete understanding of the universe's origin and fate. Discoveries like dark matter, dark energy, and now these megastructures have shown this to be a form of hubris. The universe is consistently more complex and surprising than our theories predict. Each new discovery reveals a deeper layer of ignorance. This is not a failure of science, but its greatest success. It is the process of peeling an infinite onion. The Big Ring is the removal of another layer, and it has revealed something utterly unexpected beneath. True wisdom is not in claiming to have the final answer, but in embracing the endless depth of the questions and the infinite nature of the journey. Let us meditate on the absence of a center. A ring, by its nature, defines a center point. Yet, the center of the Big Ring is empty. It is a vast void, a region of space defined by the structure that surrounds it. This is a powerful metaphor. The structure is all at the periphery, the boundary. The meaning is not in the middle, but at the edge. This can be seen as a reflection of our own quest for knowledge. The most interesting discoveries are made at the edge of what is known, in the boundary lands between light and darkness, between understanding and mystery. The ring beckons us to look not for a central, simple truth, but to explore the rich, complex, and fruitful periphery of our own understanding. The treasure is not in the center of the circle, but in the circle itself. The discovery could also have implications for our understanding of gravity. General relativity, our current theory of gravity, has been spectacularly successful on the scale of stars and galaxies. But it has never been tested on scales of billions of light years. Is it possible that gravity itself behaves differently at these extreme distances? Some alternative theories, like modified Newtonian dynamics, (MOND), propose that gravity is stronger at very low accelerations than predicted by Einstein. While these theories were developed to explain galaxy rotation without dark matter, perhaps a similar modification is needed on cosmological scales. The Big Ring could be the first piece of empirical evidence that our theory of gravity, the very force that shapes the cosmos, is incomplete and needs to be revised to account for the universe's largest architectural wonders. As we bring our journey to a close, let the feeling of deep, meditative calm be your guide. The universe is vast, and we are small. Its secrets are profound, and our understanding is nascent. In this relationship between the known and the unknown, there is a space for peace. The Big Ring is a symbol of this space. It is a solid, observed fact that points directly to a vast and beautiful mystery. It is a bridge between science and wonder, between data and awe. As your mind settles and your body rests, allow yourself to float in this space. There is no need to solve, to know, to understand. There is only the need to be present with the mystery, to feel its weight and its wonder, and to let it guide you into a state of profound and restful tranquility. The cosmos is singing a strange and beautiful song, and tonight you have learned one of its most enigmatic notes. The strange structure is a testament to the persistent and patient nature of scientific inquiry. It wasn't found in a single dramatic moment of revelation, but through the methodical accumulation of data over years. Each quasar spectrum was a single, tiny thread of information. Only by weaving thousands of these threads together did the grand tapestry of the Big Ring become visible. This is how the deepest secrets of the cosmos are often unveiled, not with a sudden shout, but with a persistent whisper that grows louder and clearer with each new observation. It is a quiet, collective effort, passed down through generations of scientists, each adding their own thread to the loom. The discovery reminds us that the path to understanding is a marathon, not a sprint. and the most profound truths are reserved for those with the patience to listen to the subtleties of the universe. Let us contemplate the possibility that the ring is a lens. Not a gravitational lens which bends light, but a cosmological lens of a type we have yet to imagine. What if it is a feature of space-time itself, a ripple or a fold, that magnifies or projects the image of a much smaller or more distant collection of galaxies? In this scenario, the ring we see would not be a physical structure of that size, but a vast optical illusion created by the universe's own strange geometry. This would solve the problem of its impossible scale, but would create a new, equally profound mystery. What kind of cosmic lens could produce such a coherent and undistorted magnification over such a vast area of the sky? It would imply that the fabric of space-time is not as smooth as we assume, but can contain warps and wrinkles of a truly exotic nature. The existence of the Big Ring challenges our models of cosmic inflation. Inflation is the theory that in the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang, the universe underwent a period of hyper-accelerated expansion, growing from a subatomic size to a macroscopic scale almost instantaneously. This theory elegantly solves many cosmological puzzles, but it also predicts that the universe should be extremely uniform on large scales. The fluctuations left by inflation are the seeds of all structure, but they are not expected to produce coherent patterns a billion light-years across. The ring, therefore, puts pressure on our inflationary models. It might mean that inflation was more complex than we thought, perhaps occurring in multiple stages or with unique features that could imprint such large patterns. Or it could be a sign that the inflationary paradigm itself needs a radical revision. We can view the Big Ring as a message in a bottle thrown into the cosmic ocean 9 billion years ago. The message is not written in a language we understand, and we do not know the sender or their intent, if any. But the existence of the message itself is the crucial fact. It tells us that the ocean is not empty, and that its currents are far more complex than we knew. Our task now is to become cosmic cryptographers, to study this enigmatic message from every possible angle, to search for clues in its structure, its light, and its environment. We must try to decipher its meaning, even if that meaning is simply a new law of nature. The bottle has washed ashore on our world, and its contents promise to forever change our view of the ocean. Let's consider the ring's orientation. We see it as a near-perfect circle, which means we are looking at it almost face-on. If it is a thin, flat ring-like structure, then what are the odds that it would be oriented so perfectly towards us? If these structures form with random orientations, the vast majority should appear to us as flattened ellipses of varying degrees. The fact that this one and the nearby giant arc are so geometrically clear from our perspective is statistically curious. It could be an observation bias. Perhaps these structures are easier to detect when we see them face-on, and there are many more elliptical ones that we have missed. Or it could be another clue, hinting that there is a relationship between our position in the universe and the structure itself. A possibility that, while unsettling to the Copernican principle, cannot be entirely dismissed without more evidence. The ring is a monument to the unseen. Over 95% of the universe's energy and matter content is thought to be in the form of dark matter and dark energy, substances we cannot see or directly detect. We live in a universe whose primary constituents are completely mysterious to us. The Big Ring is a visible structure, but its very existence may be governed by the invisible. It could be a ripple in the dark energy field, or a structure held together by a strange configuration of dark matter. It is a visible symptom of a deeper, invisible reality. When we look at the ring, we are perhaps seeing the ghost of the true underlying structure, the luminous tip of a colossal dark iceberg. The greatest mysteries of the universe are not in the light, but in the darkness that dominates it. Let us contemplate the future of this mystery. The discovery of the Big Ring is not an end, but a beginning. It has opened a new field of inquiry. A decade from now, we will have much more data. We will have detailed redshift maps, gravitational lensing profiles, and studies of the stellar populations within its galaxies. We may have found dozens more of these structures. Our theories will have evolved. Some of the possibilities we entertain today will have been ruled out, while new, even stranger ones may have emerged. The mystery of the ring will not be solved, but it will be transformed. it will become a deeper, more nuanced, and more informed mystery. This is the nature of scientific progress, not a leap from ignorance to truth, but a slow, patient, and endless refinement of our questions. The sheer beauty of the object, as a concept, is worth dwelling on. A ring of galaxies, 1 billion light-years wide, hanging in the darkness of the early universe. It is an image of profound elegance and simplicity, yet it represents a puzzle of the deepest complexity. This duality is at the heart of its appeal. It is a cosmic poem, written in a language of gravity and light. Like any great poem, it can be appreciated on multiple levels. You can analyze its meter and rhyme, the physics and the data, or you can simply let the imagery wash over you, evoking feelings of wonder, humility, and a deep connection to the cosmos. As you rest, let your mind become the quiet reader of this poem, appreciating its silent, majestic, and mysterious beauty. What if the ring and other megastructures are not features of the universe, but features that define the universe? What if the fundamental constants and laws of physics are not uniform, but are set by the boundaries of such structures? In this speculative view, a region of space only becomes a universe with stable laws when it is enclosed by a boundary condition, such as a ring or a shell. This would turn cosmology on its head. The universe would not be a single entity that contains structures, but a patchwork of domains defined by the structures themselves. We would be living inside one such domain, and the Big Ring would be a glimpse of the edge of another. This is a radical and untested idea, but the existence of such anomalies forces us to think in radical new ways about the very meaning of the word universe. Finally, let this entire exploration be a lullaby of scale. Let the numbers 9 billion light-years, 1 billion light-year diameter, lose their analytical sharpness and dissolve into a feeling of immensity. Let the competing theories, cosmic strings, past eons, alien engineers become a gentle chorus of cosmic possibilities, each one a testament to the infinite richness of reality. The purpose of this journey has not been to provide you with answers, but to provide your mind with a space vast enough to get lost in. A space where the worries of the day seem as small as a single atom in a single star in a single galaxy of this colossal, enigmatic, and serenely beautiful ring. Let the mystery be your blanket, and the vastness of space be your quiet, peaceful room. The universe is waiting, and its greatest secrets are the guardians of your deepest sleep. The discovery of the Big Ring forces us to confront the limitations of our own sensory and cognitive apparatus. We are terrestrial beings, evolved to perceive a narrow sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum, and to intuit the laws of physics as they operate on a human scale. Our understanding of the cosmos is entirely mediated by technology, an extension of our senses. This technology has revealed a universe that is profoundly alien to our intuition. The Big Ring is a perfect example. It is a structure whose scale, age, and geometric purity have no analog in our daily experience. It serves as a humbling reminder that the universe is not obligated to make sense to our evolved primate brains. Our task is to trust the data our instruments provide, even when it leads us to conclusions that feel impossible or absurd. We must learn to think on a cosmic scale, a process that is both a scientific challenge and a profound spiritual discipline. Let us consider the potential for fossil intelligence. One of the proposed solutions to the Fermi paradox, the question of where is everybody, is that intelligent life may arise, flourish, and then go extinct long before other species, like ours, evolve to look for them. If a Type 3 civilization did exist in the early universe and created the Big Ring, they might be long gone. Their stars may have burned out, their planets grown cold, their biology faded into dust. All that would be left is the silent, colossal architecture they left behind. In this case, the ring would be a cosmic tombstone, a monument to a lost civilization of unimaginable capability. We would be cosmic archaeologists who have stumbled upon the ruins of a precursor empire, with no hope of ever meeting its inhabitants. The silence from the ring would be the silence of extinction, a somber and profound message about the potential fragility of even the most advanced forms of life. The concept of a preferred axis in cosmology is a deeply controversial one. The cosmological principle insists there are no special directions in the universe. However, some studies of the cosmic microwave background have hinted at a subtle alignment of its largest features. An axis of evil, as it was provocatively named, that seems to align with the plane of our own solar system. This is largely dismissed as a statistical fluke or an uncorrected observational error. The Big Ring, however, adds a new and intriguing element to this debate. Its orientation, and that of the nearby giant arc, seems to be roughly aligned with this controversial axis. This could be a massive coincidence, or it could be a sign that there is a genuine, large-scale anisotropy in the universe, a kind of cosmic grain or fabric that influences the orientation of both the CMB and the formation of the largest structures. This would be a revolution in cosmology. Let us imagine the scientific process as a form of cartography. For centuries, we have been mapping our local cosmic shores, the planets, the stars, the Milky Way. In the 20th century, we began to map the nearby continents of galaxies. Now, with discoveries like the Big Ring, we are beginning to sketch the true global map of the cosmos. And we are finding that this map contains features as surprising as if early explorers of Earth had found a continent in the shape of a perfect square. This new cartography requires new tools and new ways of thinking. We are no longer just measuring distances and brightness, we are mapping topology, geometry, and large-scale structure. The Big Ring is a new continent on this ultimate map, and its exploration will be a grand adventure for the human intellect, a journey to chart the unknown shores of reality itself. The ring's existence might be a clue about the very nature of space. In general relativity, space is not a passive backdrop, it is an active, dynamic entity that can be bent, stretched, and rippled. Some more speculative theories propose that space can also have a texture or a state, much like water can be liquid, ice, or steam. Perhaps the early universe underwent phase transitions that left behind defects or regions where space is in a different state. The Big Ring could be the boundary between two such regions of spacetime, a place where the fundamental properties of the vacuum itself are different. The galaxies would simply be tracing this boundary, like iron filings aligning to a magnetic field. This would mean the ring is not a structure in space, but a structure of space. This is a profoundly deep and difficult concept, but it is the kind of radical idea that such a strange object forces us to contemplate. Let us consider the sound of the universe, metaphorically. If the cosmic microwave background is the resonant hum left over from the Big Bang, then galaxies are the individual notes, and clusters are the chords. The cosmic web is the complex, chaotic symphony of the universe. What, then, is the Big Ring in this orchestra? It is a single, pure, sustained note, held for 1 billion light-years. It is a note of such purity and clarity that it stands out against the chaotic background noise of the rest of the symphony. It is a moment of profound, geometric harmony in an otherwise cacophonous performance. Why is this pure note there? Is it a random overtone? Or was it written into the score by the composer? This musical analogy captures the emotional and aesthetic response to the ring. It is a moment of unexpected and beautiful order in the grand, wild music of the cosmos. The discovery is a powerful argument for the value of pure science. No one set out to find the Big Ring. The research that led to it was fundamental, curiosity-driven science, mapping the distribution of matter in the distant universe. There was no immediate practical or commercial application for this work. Yet, it led to a discovery that could revolutionize our understanding of reality. This is often how the most important breakthroughs happen. They are not planned or engineered. They emerge as unexpected byproducts of our innate human desire to understand the world around us. The Big Ring is a testament to the idea that the most valuable explorations are those for which we do not know the destination, and the most important discoveries are the ones we were not looking for. Let us contemplate the ring as a potential standard ruler for cosmology. One of the biggest challenges in measuring the universe is determining distances accurately. Astronomers use standard candles, like type Ia supernovae, whose intrinsic brightness is known, to calculate their distance. If structures like the Big Ring are found to have a characteristic standard size, if they are all, for example, products of the same physical process like a BAO, even an exotic one, they could become standard rulers. By measuring their apparent size in the sky, we could calculate their distance with a new and independent method. This would be a powerful tool for mapping the universe and for testing cosmological models, especially the nature of dark energy. The strangest object in the universe could, ironically, become a key tool for making the rest of the universe more understandable. The ring also poses a challenge to the theory of dark matter. The standard model of cosmology, lambda-CDM, relies on cold dark matter to provide the gravitational scaffolding for galaxy formation. This model is very successful at predicting the large-scale structure of the cosmic web. However, it does not naturally produce coherent, geometric structures like the Big Ring on such a large scale. The existence of the ring could be a sign that dark matter is more complex than we assume. Perhaps it is not entirely cold, but has some small amount of warmth or self-interaction that allows it to form different kinds of structures. Or, perhaps there are multiple types of dark matter with different properties. The ring is a new, crucial piece of data in our quest to unravel the nature of this mysterious substance that holds the universe together. Let us close our eyes and visualize the process of discovery. A single astronomer, Alexia Lopez, looks at a plot on her computer screen. It is a map of quasar absorption lines, dots on a chart. To an untrained eye, it is random noise, but she has been trained to see patterns. She notices a subtle overdensity, a faint curve. She checks the data, runs statistical tests. The curve becomes clearer. It forms a circle. The significance grows. 1 in 1,000. 1 in 100,000. 1 in a million. A feeling of disbelief. Then excitement. Then a sense of immense, terrifying responsibility. A single human mind, through logic and persistence, has uncovered a feature of reality a billion light-years across. This quiet, solitary moment of recognition is the seed from which a scientific revolution can grow. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated discovery, a private communion with the cosmos. The Big Ring can be interpreted as a feature of cosmic topology. Topology is the branch of mathematics that studies the properties of shapes that are preserved under continuous deformation, like stretching or bending. A coffee cup and a donut are topologically the same because they both have one hole. What is the topology of our universe? Is it a simple sphere, or is it more complex, like a multidimensional torus? The existence of a colossal closed loop like the Big Ring could be a hint about the universe's overall shape. If the universe itself were shaped like a giant three-dimensional torus, a 3-torus, then looking in certain directions would mean seeing the same region of space over and over. A large structure could appear as a repeating pattern, or a closed loop. The ring might not be a single object, but a manifestation of the universe's own finite and looped geometry, a glimpse of the cosmos wrapping back on itself. Let us reflect on the concept of evidence. In a court of law, evidence is presented to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. In science, the standard is much higher. The evidence for the Big Ring is statistically overwhelming, a 5 sigma result. Yet, it leads to a conclusion that contradicts a foundational principle. This creates a fascinating tension. The evidence says the ring is real. The principle says the ring cannot be. When such a conflict arises, it is the principle, not the evidence, that must ultimately yield. This is the brutal and beautiful heart of the scientific method. No idea, no matter how elegant, cherished, or long-held, is safe from the onslaught of new, contradictory facts. The Big Ring is a fact that is now putting our most cherished cosmological ideas on trial, and the verdict is not yet in. Consider the feeling of cosmic vertigo. When you stand at the edge of a high cliff, you can experience a dizzying sense of the vast empty space below. The Big Ring evokes a similar feeling, but on an intellectual and existential level. To contemplate a structure so large and so inexplicable is to stand at the edge of human understanding and peer into the abyss of the unknown. It is a dizzying, disorienting, and yet thrilling sensation. It is the feeling of our own mental models breaking down under the weight of an impossible reality. Allowing yourself to feel this vertigo without fear is to fully experience the sublime power of the discovery. It is the feeling of being alive and aware in a universe that is infinitely larger and stranger than your mind can comfortably hold. The ring is a powerful symbol of unity and diversity. It is a single, coherent structure, yet it is composed of countless individual galaxies. Each of those galaxies is a unique island universe, containing billions of different stars, planets, and perhaps even life forms. The ring brings them all together into a single overarching pattern. This is a beautiful metaphor for complex systems, from ecosystems to human societies. A grand, emergent order can arise from the interaction of countless individual, diverse components. The Big Ring is perhaps the ultimate example of this principle of emergence, a demonstration that the universe can produce not just random collections, but integrated, holistic patterns on a scale that defies our imagination. It is a testament to the universe's capacity for creating unity out of multiplicity. Let's consider the implications for time travel in a very specific sense. The theory of general relativity allows for the existence of closed time-like curves, CTCs, which are essentially pathways through space-time that would allow an object to return to its own past. These are usually associated with exotic objects like rotating black holes or wormholes. While likely impossible in practice, they are a feature of our best theory of gravity. Some physicists have speculated that cosmic strings could also generate CTCs. If the Big Ring is a loop of cosmic string, could it be a colossal gateway to the past? This is at the very edge of theoretical physics, deep in the realm of science fiction. But it is a fascinating thought that this structure might not just be a relic of the past, but a potential pathway to it. A feature of space-time that twists the river of time into a circle. The discovery process for the Big Ring was inherently collaborative and international. The team was based at the University of Central Lancashire in the UK, but they used data from the Sloan Digital Sky Survey, a project involving hundreds of scientists and multiple institutions, primarily in the US. The quasars they studied were observed with a telescope in New Mexico. The resulting paper will be read and scrutinized by astronomers in dozens of countries. This is a model for how humanity can and should approach the greatest challenges. The universe does not recognize our national borders. Its secrets are a shared inheritance for all humankind. The quest to understand the cosmos is a powerful, unifying force, bringing together people from different cultures and backgrounds to work towards a common goal, the expansion of knowledge for the benefit of all. The ring's existence might be a clue to the ultimate fate of the universe. Our current model, based on accelerating expansion driven by dark energy, leads to a big freeze or heat death, where the universe becomes cold, dark, and empty as all structures are driven apart. But if there are unknown forces or principles that can create and sustain billion light-year-wide structures, perhaps this fate is not inevitable. Perhaps there are self-organizing principles in the cosmos that we do not yet understand, which could counteract the dissipating effects of dark energy over long timescales. The ring is a hint that structure can arise where we expect none. It is a whisper of hope that the universe's story might not end in a slow, fading whimper, but could have future chapters of complexity, structure, and renewal that are currently beyond our ability to predict. Let us contemplate the observer effect in cosmology. In quantum mechanics, the act of observing a system can change its state. While this doesn't apply in the same way to a galaxy, there is a philosophical parallel. Our observation of the Big Ring has changed our state. It has altered our model of the universe and our perception of our place within it. Before its discovery, the universe was, for us, a place without such a feature. Now, it is a universe with one. The reality has not changed, but our reality has. This highlights the intimate and creative relationship between consciousness and the cosmos. The universe provides the raw data, the photons, the physical reality. But it is the conscious observing mind that assembles that data into a coherent picture, into a story, into a mystery. The ring existed for 9 billion years, but it only became a strange structure when a human mind recognized it as such. We can end by resting in the profound stillness that this discovery invites. The Big Ring is not a violent or chaotic object. It is not a supernova, a black hole collision, or a galactic merger. It is a structure of immense calm and stability, a feature of the universe that has likely persisted for billions of years. Its essence is one of quiet, geometric perfection. Meditating on this object is an antidote to the chaos and noise of daily life. It is an invitation to connect with a deeper, more profound level of order and peace that exists in the cosmos. Let the image of this silent, celestial hoop be a focal point for your own inner stillness. It is a symbol that even in a universe born of fire and subject to constant change, there are moments of perfect, serene, and enduring harmony. Let us conclude our contemplation by focusing on the feeling of peace that this mystery can bring. In a world often filled with urgent, solvable, and stressful problems, it is a profound relief to be confronted with a problem that is none of those things. The mystery of the Big Ring is not urgent. It has waited 9 billion years for us to notice it. It is not easily solvable. It may take generations to understand. And it is not stressful. It is a source of pure, unadulterated wonder. Allowing your mind to rest on this grand, peaceful, and unsolvable puzzle is a form of mental liberation. It is an escape into the sublime. As you drift off to sleep, let the image of a silent, glowing ring of galaxies hanging in the infinite dark be your final, calming thought. It is a symbol of a universe far stranger, more beautiful, and more mysterious than we can ever fully know. The emotional response of the astronomical community to this discovery is a mix of excitement and deep-seated discomfort. Excitement, because a genuine, profound anomaly is the most thrilling thing a scientist can hope for. It's the promise of new territory to explore. But there is also discomfort, because it threatens to overturn decades of established theory and hard-won understanding. The cosmological principle is not just a line in a textbook. It's a deeply ingrained way of seeing the universe, a piece of conceptual bedrock. To have that bedrock crack is profoundly unsettling. This tension is the lifeblood of science. It is the friction between the known and the unknown, between the comfort of an established paradigm and the exhilarating, terrifying prospect of a new one. The Big Ring is the focal point of that creative tension. Let us reflect on the concept of evidence. In a court of law, evidence is presented to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. In science, the standard is much higher. The evidence for the Big Ring is statistically overwhelming, a 5 sigma result, yet it leads to a conclusion that contradicts a foundational principle. This creates a fascinating tension. The evidence says the ring is real. The principle says the ring cannot be. When such a conflict arises, it is the principle, not the evidence, that must ultimately yield. This is the brutal and beautiful heart of the scientific method. No idea, no matter how elegant, cherished, or long held, is safe from the onslaught of new, contradictory facts. The Big Ring is a fact that is now putting our most cherished cosmological ideas on trial, and the verdict is not yet in. The strangeness of the ring might be related to the nature of primordial black holes. These are hypothetical black holes that may have formed in the first second of the universe's existence, not from the collapse of a star, but from the collapse of dense regions of the primordial plasma. Some theories suggest these could constitute a portion of the universe's dark matter. What if a vast, ring-shaped collection of these primordial black holes was formed during inflation? This would create a massive, invisible gravitational structure that would then seed the formation of galaxies along its perimeter. This theory is attractive because it uses a known, though hypothetical, type of object and could explain the ring's scale. The challenge would be to explain how these primordial black holes could have been arranged in such a perfect and enormous circle in the first place, pushing the mystery one level deeper. Let us contemplate the observer effect in cosmology. In quantum mechanics, the act of observing a system can change its state. While this doesn't apply in the same way to a galaxy, there is a philosophical parallel. Our observation of the Big Ring has changed our state. It has altered our model of the universe and our perception of our place within it. Before its discovery, the universe was, for us, a place without such a feature. Now it is a universe with one. The reality has not changed, but our reality has. This highlights the intimate and creative relationship between consciousness and the cosmos. The universe provides the raw data, the photons, the physical reality. But it is the conscious observing mind that assembles that data into a coherent picture, into a story, into a mystery. The ring existed for 9 billion years, but it only became a strange structure when a human mind recognized it as such. Let us deconstruct our very notion of a cosmic structure. We tend to think of structures as things built from smaller parts held together by an internal force like gravity. The Big Ring challenges this. It may not be a thing in the conventional sense, but rather a condition of space. It could be a boundary, a wave, a projection, or a scar. Its component galaxies may not be interacting with each other at all. They may simply be passive markers tracing a pre-existing and invisible pattern in the cosmos. This forces us to expand our cosmic vocabulary. We need new words to describe phenomena that are not collections of matter, but are patterns of space-time itself. The Big Ring may be the first entry in a new encyclopedia of cosmic phenomena, a bestiary of geometric phantoms that haunt the dark voids of the universe. There is a deep loneliness evoked by the scale of the Big Ring. Its light has traveled for 9 billion years to reach us. Any civilization that may have witnessed its formation, or perhaps even participated in its construction, is separated from us by an impassable gulf of time and space. We can receive their ancient light, but we can never send a message back that would reach them. We are cosmic islanders, who have just seen the faint smoke from a fire on an island so distant that it would take longer than the age of our species to sail there. This realization fosters a unique sense of connection and isolation. We are connected to the past by this thread of light, yet we are irrevocably isolated in our present moment. It is a profound meditation on the vast, silent distances that separate not just worlds, but entire epochs of cosmic history. The ring can be seen as a cosmic Rorschach test. A psychologist uses an inkblot to probe the unconscious assumptions and biases of a patient. Similarly, the Big Ring, a vast and ambiguous pattern, probes the assumptions and biases of our cosmological models. A physicist committed to the standard model might see it as a statistical fluke, however improbable. A string theorist might see the signature of a cosmic string. A SETI researcher might see a glimmer of an artifact. A philosopher might see a symbol of eternal recurrence. The object itself remains silent. It is a mirror that reflects our own intellectual frameworks, our hopes, and our fears about the nature of the universe. What we see in the Big Ring says as much about us and the current state of our knowledge as it does about the ring itself. Let us explore the concept of cosmic domains more deeply. If the universe contains regions with different physical laws or properties, the boundaries between these domains would be fascinating places. They could be regions of immense energy release, or they could be places where matter is repelled or funneled in strange ways. The Big Ring, if it is such a boundary, gives us our first clue about the nature of this interuniversal physics. Its circular shape might be the most stable configuration for a boundary between two different types of cosmic vacuum. Studying the properties of the galaxies within the ring could reveal subtle differences from galaxies elsewhere, providing the first empirical data on how matter behaves when it is on the threshold of a different reality. We may be looking at the cosmic equivalent of a cell wall, a membrane separating one form of existence from another. Consider the role of symmetry in physics. The most fundamental laws of nature are expressions of deep symmetries. For example, the law of conservation of energy is a result of the fact that the laws of physics are the same at all times. The Big Ring presents us with a new and mysterious form of symmetry, a near-perfect circular or spherical symmetry on a scale where none is expected. This could be a clue that there is a deeper, undiscovered symmetry in the laws of cosmology. This large-scale symmetry might be broken in most of the universe, but in certain regions or under certain conditions, it can manifest itself. The Big Ring could be a pristine example of this symmetry, a place where the underlying mathematical beauty of the cosmos is revealed in its purest form. Finding this symmetry and the law it relates to could be the next great leap in fundamental physics. Let's meditate on the idea of a cosmic unconscious. Carl Jung proposed that humanity shares a collective unconscious, a repository of archetypal symbols and images. Could the universe itself have a form of memory or unconscious, a set of preferred patterns and forms that it tends to create? This is a highly speculative philosophical idea, but it is one that the Big Ring inspires. The circle is an archetypal form. Why does it appear on this impossible scale? Perhaps the laws of physics themselves have a kind of memory of past states or a preference for certain geometric outcomes. In this view, the universe is not just a blind mechanical process, but a creative one, with a deep-seated aesthetic that favors harmony, geometry, and the emergence of beautiful, ordered forms out of chaos. The ring would be an expression of the universe's own deep, creative dream. The discovery of the Big Ring also subtly reframes our search for our own cosmic origins. We know that the elements that make up our bodies and our planet were forged in stars. We are, as Carl Sagan famously said, star stuff. But the Big Ring reminds us that there are levels of organization in the universe far beyond stars and galaxies. It raises a new question. Are we just star stuff? Or are we also, in some deeper, more indirect way, cosmic structure stuff? Did the same unknown laws or forces that created this colossal ring also play a subtle role in shaping the distribution of matter in our own region of the universe, creating the specific conditions that allowed our solar system and, ultimately, ourselves to form? It connects our existence not just to the small-scale physics of stars, but to the grand, mysterious architecture of the cosmos itself. Let us consider the ring's relationship with nothingness. It is a structure that appears to be traced around the edge of a great void. Its existence is defined by the emptiness it encloses. This is a profound philosophical concept. In many Eastern philosophies, emptiness, or sunyata, is not a mere absence, but a dynamic and potent source of all form. Form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. The Big Ring is a perfect cosmological illustration of this idea. It is a magnificent structure of galaxies, whose very shape and existence are inseparable from the vast void at its heart. It suggests that to understand the great structures of the universe, we must pay as much attention to the voids, the great absences, as we do to the concentrations of matter. The most important secrets may be hidden in the nothingness. The strange structure forces us to be more creative and audacious in our theorizing. When faced with an anomaly of this magnitude, incremental adjustments to existing models may not be enough. It may require a leap of imagination, a what-if question so bold that it borders on the absurd. What if dark energy is not a smooth fluid but crystallizes into structures? What if gravity is a holographic projection and the ring is an artifact of the projection? What if the universe has a higher dimensional structure that we are only seeing a slice of? These are the kinds of ideas that are usually confined to the fringes of theoretical physics. The Big Ring has brought them into the mainstream conversation. It has given cosmologists permission to be bold, to be strange, and to be wildly imaginative, because the universe has proven itself to be all of those things. As our intellectual journey through this mystery comes to a pause, let the overwhelming feeling be one of gratitude. We are living in an age of cosmic discovery. We are the first generation of humans to know of the cosmic web, of dark energy, and now of these impossible megastructures. We are privileged to be standing on the shore as these profound new features of reality wash up from the ocean of the unknown. To be able to contemplate a mystery like the Big Ring is a gift. It is a source of intellectual nourishment, philosophical wonder, and deep, meditative calm. It is a reminder that we are part of a story that is far grander, older, and more mysterious than we can ever fully comprehend. And to be a conscious witness to that story is a beautiful and precious thing. The very nature of empty space is called into question by this discovery. We tend to view the vacuum of space as a true nothingness, a passive stage upon which cosmic events unfold. But modern physics tells us the vacuum is a seething cauldron of virtual particles and quantum fields. The Big Ring suggests the vacuum might have even more exotic properties, including the ability to harbor large-scale structure or tension. It could be that the ring is not a collection of galaxies, but a tension line in the vacuum itself, a wrinkle in the nothingness that has compelled galaxies to form along its path. This reconceptualization of empty space, from a passive void to an active, structured medium, is one of the most profound and mind-altering implications of the discovery. The emptiness between the stars may be just as complex and important as the stars themselves. Let us contemplate the ring as a cosmic weather pattern. On Earth, we have jet streams, vast, river-like currents of air in the upper atmosphere that shape our weather systems. What if the universe has analogous phenomena on a vastly larger scale? The Big Ring could be a cosmic jet stream, a current in an unknown cosmological medium or field. The galaxies within it would be like clouds carried along by this current, tracing its circular path. This idea frames the universe not as a static collection of objects, but as a dynamic, fluid system with currents, eddies, and flows that operate on scales of billions of years. We are just beginning to build the meteorological tools to detect this cosmic weather, and the Big Ring may be our first sighting of a colossal, universe-spanning hurricane. The discovery also highlights the problem of look elsewhere effect in science. When you search a vast amount of data for anomalies, you are bound to find things that look strange just by chance. Scientists must be careful to calculate the probability that a pattern would appear anywhere in their data, not just in the specific place they found it. The team behind the Big Ring has done these calculations, and the structure remains statistically significant. However, it is a subtle but important point. It reminds us that the universe is vast, and given enough space and time, even incredibly improbable events can happen somewhere. The challenge is to distinguish between a true once-in-a-universe statistical fluke and a sign of new physics. Only by finding more such structures can we be certain that we are seeing a new class of object and not just the universe rolling a lucky or unlucky number. Imagine the Big Ring as a cosmic echo. When you shout in a canyon, your voice returns to you as an echo, a reflection of the sound off the canyon walls. Perhaps the Big Ring is a reflection of a massive event that happened in the very early universe. A cataclysmic explosion, the collision of two primordial membranes in a higher dimension, or the decay of a super-heavy particle could have sent out a spherical shell of energy. This shell would travel outwards, and what we are seeing might be its intersection with a large sheet of gas, causing a ring of star formation. Or, in a more exotic scenario, we could be seeing the echo of that event as it reflects off some cosmic boundary or a change in the topology of space itself. We would not be seeing the event, but its faint billion-year-old reflection. Let us reconsider the artificiality hypothesis from a different angle. We assume that an alien intelligence would build with matter. But what if a truly advanced civilization does not build with matter, but with the laws of physics themselves? What if they learned how to tune the parameters of the vacuum, to alter the properties of dark energy, or the strength of fundamental forces in a localized region? The Big Ring could be the result of such vacuum engineering. It might not be a structure they built, but a change they made to the fabric of reality, which then caused galaxies to form in this pattern naturally. This would be a form of technology so advanced, it would be indistinguishable from a new law of nature. The artifact would not be the galaxies, but the physical principles that guided them into their circular dance. The ring's existence is a profound lesson in cosmic modesty. We are a young species on a small planet, with a very limited view of the cosmos. For a long time, we have been building models of the universe that are, in essence, extrapolations from our own local environment. We assumed that our corner of the universe was representative of the whole. The Big Ring, and other anomalies like it, are a clear sign that this is a dangerous assumption. The universe is not required to conform to the expectations we derive from our limited sample size of one. There are more things in heaven and earth, and in the voids between the galaxies, than are dreamt of in our cosmological philosophies. The ring is the universe gently reminding us that we are still students, and that we should approach its study with humility, openness, and a profound sense of wonder. Let us contemplate the ring as a potential habitat. A Type 3 civilization might not live on planets, but in vast, engineered environments. A structure like the Big Ring, whether built or simply colonized, could provide access to the resources of thousands of galaxies. The spaces between the galaxies could be used for energy collection, computation, or large-scale physics experiments. The galaxies themselves would be the nature reserves or power plants of this cosmic civilization. While this is pure speculation, it is an exercise in expanding our definition of habitable. The search for life has been focused on Earth-like planets, but perhaps we should also be looking for the thermodynamic and structural signatures of life operating on a scale that re-engineers the cosmos itself. Life may not be a planetary phenomenon, but a cosmological one. The silence from the Big Ring can be interpreted in another way. It is not necessarily the silence of extinction or indifference. It could be the silence of respect. A sufficiently advanced and wise civilization might adhere to a principle of non-interference with emerging life forms like ourselves. They might have built the ring as a marker or a piece of art, but they choose not to announce their presence, allowing us to develop on our own, to solve our own problems, and to discover the universe at our own pace. In this view, the silence is not an absence of life, but a sign of its wisdom. They have left us a profound and beautiful puzzle to solve, a cosmic breadcrumb trail that might eventually lead us to a greater understanding of our place in a populated universe. The puzzle itself is the message. Consider the ring in the context of eternal inflation. This theory suggests that our observable universe is just one bubble in an infinite, eternally expanding metaverse. In this metaverse, new bubble universes are constantly being born, each potentially with different laws of physics. The collision between two such bubble universes could leave a scar on the sky of both. These scars would appear as large, circular patterns on the cosmic microwave background. While the Big Ring is a structure of galaxies, not a temperature fluctuation, it is possible that the two are related. The initial bubble collision could have created a circular scar in the CMB, and this energy fluctuation could have then seeded the formation of galaxies in the same pattern over billions of years. The Big Ring could be the first direct evidence that our universe is not alone, but is part of an infinite cosmic foam of other realities. As we prepare to let this mystery settle into the quiet corners of our minds, let us hold on to the feeling of connection it provides. In our daily lives, we can feel disconnected and isolated. But the Big Ring reminds us that we are part of a single, vast, interconnected system. The atoms in your body were forged in stars that are part of a galaxy, which is part of a local group, which is part of a supercluster, which exists in a universe that contains wonders like the Big Ring. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a part of its unfolding story. You are a way for the universe to know itself. Contemplating this immense, strange, and beautiful structure is a way of exercising that cosmic consciousness, of feeling your own deep and unbreakable connection to the totality of existence. The ring serves as a perfect object for a final, calming meditation. Visualize its form, a perfect, luminous circle against the deep, velvet black of space. It is a shape with no beginning and no end, a symbol of eternity. It is vast beyond comprehension, yet its form is simple and elegant. It is ancient, a relic from a younger, more turbulent cosmos, yet it hangs in the sky with a profound sense of peace and stillness. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in the vast, quiet emptiness of the space it encloses. As you breathe out, imagine the gentle, twinkling light of its billions of stars and countless galaxies. Let your mind trace its circular path, over and over, a gentle, repetitive motion that soothes the analytical mind and allows a deeper state of calm to emerge. The ring is a cosmic mantra, a visual hum that can quiet the noise of the world. The mystery of the Big Ring is a safe harbor for the mind. It is a problem so large, so distant, and so profound that it cannot cause us any immediate anxiety. It is a puzzle that invites our curiosity without demanding a solution. Unlike the pressing problems of our own lives, the riddle of the ring is one we can contemplate with a sense of detached and peaceful wonder. It is a mental playground where we can explore the most audacious ideas about reality, time, and existence, all from a place of perfect safety. Allowing your mind to drift in this playground, to bounce from one incredible possibility to another, is a form of intellectual play that can be deeply relaxing. It is a vacation for the soul, a brief trip to the farthest shores of the known universe, from which you can return with a renewed sense of perspective and calm. Let us contemplate the ring as a cosmic garden. A garden is a place where nature is gently guided by an intelligence to create a space of beauty and order. It is a collaboration between the wildness of nature and the intention of a gardener. Perhaps the universe is such a garden. The laws of physics are the wild, untamed soil, and from them, structures like the Big Ring can emerge, either through a deeper, hidden law, the gardener, or by sheer, wild chance. In either case, the result is a place of breathtaking, large-scale beauty. To look upon the Big Ring is to look upon a feature of this cosmic garden. It is a reminder that the universe is not just a sterile laboratory of physical laws, but a place of emergent beauty, a place that can grow things far more wonderful than we ever expected. The ring's existence is a whisper of transcendence. It points to a level of reality, a scale of being, and a set of physical laws that are beyond our current grasp. It is a tangible signpost that says, there is more. This feeling of more is the essence of the sublime and the spiritual. It is the feeling that the world as we know it is not the full story. The Big Ring is a scientific discovery that produces a spiritual or philosophical effect. It uses the rigorous language of data and statistics to point us toward a mystery that feels boundless and sacred. It is a bridge between the two ways of knowing, the rational and the intuitive, showing us that the deepest exploration of the physical world can lead us to the threshold of the metaphysical. As we drift deeper, let the sheer improbability of the ring be a source of comfort. In a universe that can produce a billion light-year-wide circle of galaxies against all odds, anything is possible. It is a testament to the universe's infinite creativity and its capacity for surprise. This fact can instill a sense of profound optimism. The universe is not a closed, deterministic machine that has already played out all its tricks. It is an open, unfolding, and endlessly inventive reality. The future, both for the cosmos and for ourselves, is not written. The existence of the Big Ring is a physical proof that the universe is still capable of creating things that are entirely new, unexpected, and beautiful. The story is far from over, and the most amazing chapters may be yet to come. Let the silence of the Big Ring be your final guide. It does not speak, it does not move, it does not demand. It simply is. It exists in a state of perfect, unbothered peace, having held its form for eons. Your own mind can find that same state of peace. By letting go of the need to analyze, to understand, and to explain, you can simply be with the image of the ring. Let its silent presence fill your awareness. Feel its ancient, steady calm. It is a cosmic anchor in the stormy seas of thought. As you hold this image in your mind, feel your own thoughts begin to slow down, to settle, to become as still and as silent as the vast, empty space at the center of this impossible, beautiful, and profoundly mysterious structure. Consider the finality of light's journey. For 9 billion years, photons from the Big Ring traveled towards us, their entire existence defined by this single trajectory. Upon reaching the mirrors of our telescopes, their long pilgrimage ended. This act of observation is an act of consumption. The photon is absorbed, its information extracted, its journey concluded. There is a melancholy beauty in this. We destroy the messenger to read the message. This relationship with the cosmos is one of sacrifice and revelation. The past must be consumed for the present to know it. As we receive these ancient signals, we are participating in the final moments of a billion-year-long story, becoming the last chapter in the life of a particle of light that saw the universe in its youth and carried that memory all the way to us. Let us imagine the ring as a cosmic clock. If its diameter is 1.3 billion light-years, then the time it takes for light to travel across it is 1.3 billion years. Its very size defines a vast unit of time. It is a clock that ticks only once every billion years. This reframes our entire perception of time. Our lives, our histories, our civilizations are less than a single tick of this cosmic clock. To contemplate it is to step outside of our frantic, human-scale time and enter a state of deep time. In this state, anxieties dissolve and perspective is gained. The problems that seem so urgent and overwhelming become fleeting moments in a vast, slow, and epic story. The Big Ring is a meditation on eternity, a tool for stretching our minds and calming our souls by showing us a timescale that is truly cosmic. The ring is a testament to the power of a question. It was not found because we knew it was there. It was found because a scientist asked a simple question. What is the distribution of matter in this patch of sky? The universe, in its own time, provided an answer so shocking and profound that it has generated 1,000 new questions. This is the engine of progress. It is not the answers that drive us forward, but the quality and audacity of our questions. The Big Ring is a cosmic invitation to ask better, deeper, and more imaginative questions. What else is hidden in the dark? What other patterns have we missed? What assumptions are holding us back? The ring does not give us a conclusion. It gives us a new and more beautiful starting point. Finally, let the Big Ring be a symbol of your own mind as you drift into sleep. It is a vast, quiet, and orderly structure, enclosing a space of deep and peaceful emptiness. Your mind, too, can become such a space. Let the frantic thoughts of the day be the distant galaxies on the periphery, their light gentle and far away. Let the center of your awareness be a place of still, silent, and restorative darkness. The Big Ring is a map to this inner state of peace. It is a naturally occurring meditative symbol, a gift from the cosmos to guide us into the quiet void from which all things arise and to which all things return. As you accept its silent invitation, you are not just falling asleep, you are aligning yourself with the deep, resonant, and mysterious harmony of the universe itself. Let us contemplate the ring as a boundary condition for reality itself. In physics, boundary conditions are the constraints placed on the edge of a system that determine its behavior within. The vibration of a guitar string is determined by the fixed points at either end. Perhaps the universe operates similarly. The laws and constants of our observable cosmos might not be intrinsic properties of reality, but are instead set by a vast, overarching structure that serves as our cosmic boundary condition. The Big Ring could be a visible component of this boundary, a piece of the cosmic frame that dictates the nature of the picture inside. In this view, the question, why do the laws of physics have the values they do, would be answered with, because the shape of our cosmic container dictates it. This would be the ultimate form of environmental determinism, where our entire reality is a product of the unimaginable architecture that encloses it. The discovery of the Big Ring provides a new, grander scale for the anthropic principle. This principle suggests that the universe's observed properties must be compatible with the existence of conscious observers. We find ourselves in a universe that can create us. But the Big Ring suggests that the conditions for existence might be more complex. Perhaps life can only arise in regions of the cosmos that are quiet, that is, far away from such colossal reality-defining structures. These megastructures might be regions of such high energy, exotic physics, or gravitational stress that they are fundamentally sterile. Our mediocre position in a vast void might be the most valuable real estate in the cosmos, a protected cosmic nature preserve where the delicate processes of life are sheltered from the true violent grandeur of cosmic mechanics. Our existence would then be a product not just of fine-tuning, but of a profound and fortunate isolation. Let us imagine the ring not as a structure of matter, but as a structure of time. What if it is a caustic in space-time, a place where different paths from the past converge? Much like light rays can be focused by a lens to create a bright ring, perhaps the world lines of galaxies, their paths through four-dimensional space-time, have been focused by the universe's geometry. In this model, the ring would be a temporal illusion. The galaxies are not physically arranged in a circle in space at one moment. Rather, their histories have been bent by the curvature of the cosmos in such a way that, from our specific vantage point, they appear to us on a single, circular shell of our past light cone. This would be a profound illusion, a cosmic mirage created by the interplay of deep time and cosmic geometry, a picture painted not on a canvas of space, but on a canvas of time itself. The strange structure could be a relic of a failed universe. Some cosmological models, particularly in string theory, propose a landscape of possible universes, with many different vacuum states. Most of these states might be unstable and would rapidly decay. What if our universe is the result of such a decay? The previous, unstable vacuum state might have had different properties that allowed for the formation of such large structures. As it collapsed into our more stable, lower-energy vacuum state, a bubble of the new universe, ours, would have expanded. The Big Ring could be a remnant of the old vacuum, a piece of a failed reality that was stuck or fossilized during the transition. We would be living in the aftermath of a cosmic catastrophe, and the ring would be a piece of shrapnel from a reality that is no more, a ghost of a universe that could have been. Let's consider the ring's impact on our search for a theory of quantum gravity. Such a theory, the holy grail of modern physics, would unite Einstein's general relativity with quantum mechanics. We have no experimental data to guide this search, as the effects of quantum gravity are only thought to become significant at the incredibly high energies of the Big Bang or inside black holes. The Big Ring, however, could be a macroscopic quantum object. If it was formed by a process in the very early universe, its properties might be dictated by the laws of quantum gravity. Its shape, its size, and its very existence could be the first low-energy, large-scale empirical clue we have about the nature of that ultimate theory. It would be a colossal, natural particle accelerator, which has performed an experiment for us and left the results imprinted on the sky for 9 billion years, waiting for a species to evolve that could read them. The ring's perfect circularity is what makes it so anomalous. Nature is filled with spheres, a result of gravity's tendency to pull equally in all directions. But a two-dimensional ring on this scale is deeply perplexing. One speculative possibility is that it is the mouth of a wormhole, a theoretical tunnel through space-time. In some models, the entrance to a traversable wormhole would need to be held open by exotic matter, and could appear as a spherical or circular object. If the ring is the edge of such a portal, where would it lead? To another point in our own universe? To another universe entirely? This is, of course, extreme speculation, but the object itself is so extreme that it forces us to consider even the most outlandish possibilities from the catalog of theoretical physics. The structure may not be a destination, but a doorway. We can meditate on the ring as a symbol of cosmic cycles. Many ancient cultures believed in a cyclical model of time, with great ages of creation and destruction. Modern cosmology, with theories like Penrose's conformal cyclic cosmology, is beginning to echo these ancient myths. The ring, a perfect circle, is the ultimate symbol of a cycle. It has no beginning or end. Its presence could be a physical manifestation of the cyclical nature of time itself. It might be a structure that has survived from a previous eon, or one that will serve as a seed for the next. Its form is a quiet affirmation that the universe's story may not be a linear progression from a single beginning to a final end, but an eternal, recurring poem that is constantly being written, erased, and written again. The discovery of the Big Ring challenges our definition of life itself. We define life by its terrestrial characteristics, metabolism, growth, reproduction, but what if life can exist on a cosmological scale, with a different set of defining properties? What if a vast, interconnected network of cosmic strings or dark matter could achieve a form of consciousness? Its thoughts would be gravitational waves, its metabolism, the slow consumption of vacuum energy, and its lifetime would be measured in eons. From this perspective, the Big Ring could be a biological organ, a sensory apparatus, or a reproductive structure of a living, conscious universe. This Gaia hypothesis on a cosmic scale is a deeply philosophical and untestable idea, yet the ring's coherent, organized nature invites us to consider that the universe might not just contain life, but might, in its totality, be alive. Let's re-examine the baryon acoustic oscillation theory. While the standard model of BAOs cannot produce a ring of this size, what if the model is incomplete? The early universe was a complex place. Perhaps there were other, unknown particles or fields present that altered the way these sound waves propagated. An exotic scalar field could have changed the speed of sound in the primordial plasma, allowing the waves to travel much farther before being frozen in at recombination. This would allow for the creation of much larger fossilized shells. In this scenario, the Big Ring would not require us to abandon our theories, but to refine them. It would be a clue that the cast of characters present at the dawn of time was larger than we thought. The ring would be the fingerprint of an unknown particle that played a crucial role in the universe's infancy and then vanished from the stage. The ring is a humbling lesson in the scale of our own ignorance. For all of our scientific progress, we are still like a person who has spent their life in a single room, believing it to be the entire world. We have studied the furniture, the walls, and the floor in great detail, but the discovery of the Big Ring is like finding a window in that room that looks out onto a landscape of impossible mountains and strange skies. It tells us that the room of our standard model is not the whole of reality. There is a vast, unexplored outside, whose nature we can barely guess at. This realization is not a cause for despair, but for exhilaration. It means the greatest adventures of discovery are still ahead of us. The map is not complete. In fact, we have just realized it is infinitely larger than we ever imagined. Let us contemplate the ring as a cosmic hard drive. The ultimate limit of information storage is thought to be a black hole, but a structure of this size, if it is an artifact, could also store an immense amount of data. The information could be encoded in the precise positions, masses, and types of the galaxies themselves. Each galaxy could be a single bit in a colossal calculation, or a single character in an epic story. To read this hard drive would be impossible for us, as it would require measuring the properties of thousands of galaxies with perfect precision across 1 billion light-years. But the very idea is tantalizing. What information would a civilization that builds on this scale deem worthy of preserving for billions of years? A history of their species? A complete theory of physics? A work of art? The ring could be a silent, unreadable library of Alexandria floating in the cosmic dark. The discovery of the Big Ring also highlights the importance of outlier data. In many scientific fields, data points that lie far outside the expected range are dismissed as errors or noise. There is a strong institutional pressure to focus on the data that fits the prevailing theory. The team that found the ring did the opposite. They took their outliers seriously. They investigated the strange pattern that should not have been there. This is a testament to scientific integrity and courage. It is often in the anomalous data, the glitches in the matrix, that the seeds of a revolution are found. The Big Ring is a champion of the outlier, a colossal monument to the importance of paying attention to the things that do not fit, for it is in these strange and inconvenient facts that the universe often whispers its deepest secrets. Let's imagine the ring as a cosmic instrument. A large ring structure could, in theory, be used to generate or detect gravitational waves with a very specific, long wavelength. By precisely modulating the orbits of the stars or black holes within its galaxies, a Type 3 civilization could use the ring as a colossal gravitational wave speaker, broadcasting a signal across the universe. Conversely, it could act as a giant antenna, a gravitational wave observatory designed to detect the faint ripples in space-time from the most distant and ancient events, perhaps even from the Big Bang itself or from other universes. In this view, the ring is not a passive structure, but an active piece of scientific equipment on a scale that is almost beyond comprehension. We are like a pre-industrial tribe, stumbling across a particle accelerator, aware of its impressive structure, but with no concept of its true function. The ring's existence might be explained by a selection effect. Perhaps such structures are common in the universe, but we are only able to see this particular one due to a unique set of circumstances. It might be located in a region of space with very little obscuring dust. It might be backlit by an unusually bright and conveniently located collection of quasars. Its orientation might be perfectly face-on, making its circular shape obvious. If any of these conditions were not met, it would be invisible to us. This implies that the universe we see is not the typical universe, but a visible universe, biased by the limitations of our detection methods. The cosmos could be filled with even stranger and larger structures that we are currently blind to. What we have found might be the easiest one to see, the tip of a truly titanic iceberg of cosmic strangeness. Let us consider the ring's color and temperature. By studying the integrated light from its galaxies, astronomers can determine their average color, which corresponds to the age of their stellar populations. Are the galaxies in the ring predominantly blue, indicating they are young and actively forming stars? Or are they red and dead, composed of old stars with little new star formation? This detail is a crucial clue to the ring's origin. If they are all blue, it suggests the ring was formed by a single, massive burst of star formation 9 billion years ago. If they are all red, it implies the structure is much older, and we are seeing it in its retirement. If it is a mix, it suggests a more complex, long-term formation process. The color of the ring is a vital sign, a way of taking its temperature and diagnosing its history. The ring is a profound meditation on the relationship between order and chaos. The standard cosmological model is a story of order, the smooth early universe, giving way to chaos and complexity, the messy, fractal cosmic web. The Big Ring is a reversal of this narrative. It is a feature of supreme order and simplicity emerging from a background of chaos. This suggests that the interplay between order and chaos in the universe is more complex than a simple one-way street. The cosmos may be a grand, cyclical dance between these two fundamental principles, chaos might coalesce into order, which then dissolves back into chaos in an eternal cosmic rhythm. The Big Ring would be a snapshot of the peak of the order part of the cycle, a moment of perfect geometric coherence in the universe's wild and untamed dance. Let's speculate on the ring's potential as a power source. A Type 3 civilization would require an immense amount of energy. Some theoretical concepts, like a black hole bomb, suggest that energy can be extracted from a spinning black hole's rotational energy. What if the entire Big Ring is a machine for creating and manipulating a central supermassive black hole? The galaxies could be used as gravitational shepherds, funneling matter towards the center in a controlled way to spin up a black hole to its theoretical maximum. The civilization would then extract energy from this spinning behemoth. In this scenario, the ring is not the main event. It is the support infrastructure for a central power plant of unimaginable efficiency and scale. The beautiful structure we see would be merely the scaffolding for a cosmic engine. The ring forces us to confront the anthropic shadow. This is the idea that our observations of the universe are biased by the fact that we had to be here to make them. We can only observe a universe that is old enough and stable enough for us to have evolved. This might blind us to the true, typical state of the cosmos. Perhaps the universe is usually a much more chaotic place, and we happen to live in a bubble of unusual calm. Or perhaps megastructures like the ring are common, but they are usually formed in ways that preclude the development of life, so we can only ever see the tame ones. We are looking at the universe through the keyhole of our own existence, and we can never be sure if the room we are seeing is representative of the entire house. The Big Ring is a tantalizing glimpse into what the other rooms might look like. The ring can be thought of as a cosmic artifact that has lost its context. Imagine finding a single perfect microchip in an ancient archaeological dig. Without the computer it came from, the software it ran, or the society that built it, its true function and meaning are almost impossible to decipher. The Big Ring is like that microchip. We have found a single complex component of what might have been a much larger system. But we lack the context. We do not know the machine it was part of, the software of the physical laws that ran it, or the society of the universe in which it formed. We are left to stare at this beautiful, intricate, and context-free object, forced to guess at its purpose from its form alone. It is the ultimate archaeological enigma. As we move towards a state of deeper relaxation, let the mystery of the ring become a source of profound security. The universe is not a simple, predictable, and fully understood place. It is deep, mysterious, and full of wonders that are beyond our current comprehension. This is a beautiful thing. It means our future is not one of boring certainty, but of endless discovery. It means our children and their children will have new cosmic shores to explore. The existence of the ring is a promise that the universe will never be fully tamed by our theories. It will always have another trick up its sleeve, another veil to lift, another impossible beauty to reveal. Resting in this knowledge, the knowledge that we live in a fundamentally wondrous and mysterious cosmos is a source of deep and abiding peace. The Big Ring's discovery is a lesson in seeing. For years, the data containing the signature of the ring existed on computer servers. The photons had been captured, the quasar spectra recorded, but the structure remained unseen. It was not until a prepared and curious mind, that of Alexia Lopez, looked at the data in a new way that the pattern emerged from the noise. This tells us that discovery is not just about collecting information. It is about the act of perception, of interpretation, of pattern recognition. The universe is constantly broadcasting its secrets, but we must be tuned to the right frequency to receive them. The Big Ring existed in a state of potentiality in the data, waiting for a human consciousness to actualize it, to bring it from the realm of abstract information into the world of known, named, and contemplated objects. It is a collaboration between the cosmos and consciousness. Let us contemplate the ring as a cosmic organ. In a biological organism, different organs have specialized functions that contribute to the whole. What if the universe itself is like an organism, and different structures are its organs? Perhaps voids are the lungs, breathing out a negative pressure that drives expansion. Perhaps galaxy clusters are the bones, providing structural integrity. In this metaphorical anatomy, what is the function of the Big Ring? Is it a heart, pumping some unknown energy in a cyclical rhythm? Is it an eye, designed to observe a particular phenomenon? Or is it a part of the nervous system, a conduit for information traveling across the cosmos? This organic perspective shifts our view from a mechanical universe to a biological one, a system that is not just evolving, but is perhaps, in a sense, alive and functional. The extreme nature of the Big Ring forces us to consider the limits of our own language. We use words like big, old, and circular, but these words are loaded with terrestrial baggage. Our concept of big is based on mountains and oceans. Our concept of old is based on grandparents and ancient ruins. Our concept of circular is based on wheels and stones. The ring is 1 billion light-years wide, 9 billion years old, and is a pattern of galaxies in spacetime. Our words are inadequate to capture the reality. To truly contemplate the ring is to feel the breakdown of language, to enter a pre-linguistic state of pure awe. It is to acknowledge that we are trying to describe the indescribable, and in that humbling admission, we can find a strange and profound peace. The ring might be a fossil of a primordial magnetic field. In the early universe, it is possible that extremely strong magnetic fields were generated. These fields would have permeated the primordial plasma. As the universe expanded, these magnetic fields would have weakened, but they could have left a lasting imprint on the distribution of matter. A looped or tangled magnetic field line of immense size could have trapped charged particles, creating a region of slightly higher density that would later seed the formation of galaxies in a ring-like pattern. If this is true, the Big Ring would be a direct visualization of the invisible magnetic skeleton of the early cosmos. We would be seeing a fossilized line of cosmic force, a testament to the power of electromagnetism on a scale we never thought possible. Let us meditate on the perspective of a single star within one of the ring's galaxies. For billions of years, it has been on a slow, majestic journey, part of a grand cosmic convoy. Its neighboring stars and galaxies are not scattered randomly, but are part of the same great circle. Would a civilization evolving around such a star have a different sense of community and destiny? Would they feel a deeper connection to the cosmos, seeing themselves as part of a tangible, large-scale architecture? Their myths and religions might be centered on the great celestial river or the necklace of the gods that dominates their sky. Their science would be driven to understand its origin. The ring is not just a puzzle for us. It is a potential home, a place that could have shaped the culture, philosophy, and science of countless other worlds in ways we can only dream of. The discovery of the Big Ring could be a sign that we need a new kind of science, a science of anomalies. Traditional science focuses on finding universal laws that explain the average, typical behavior of systems. But what if the most important clues to a deeper reality lie in the exceptions, the unique, one-off events? A science of anomalies would not dismiss outliers, but would actively hunt for them. It would develop statistical tools specifically for identifying and analyzing unique structures. It would treat the universe not as a uniform factory producing identical galaxies, but as a naturalist's cabinet of curiosities, filled with rare and wonderful specimens. The Big Ring is the first major specimen in this new collection, a cosmic platypus that defies our neat classifications and forces us to admit that the universe is far more creative and eccentric than our laws would predict. Let's consider the ring's relationship to the arrow of time. The fact that the universe is evolving, that entropy is increasing, that we remember the past and not the future, defines the arrow of time. But why does time have this direction? Some theories link it to the universe's initial low-entropy state at the Big Bang. The Big Ring, a highly ordered, low-entropy structure on an immense scale, is a profound statement about the universe's state 9 billion years ago. Its existence might be a crucial clue in understanding the thermodynamic origins of time's arrow. It is a fossil of the universe's initial order, a preserved piece of the low-entropy past that is responsible for the very flow of time we experience. To understand the ring might be to understand why time itself flows forward and not backward. The serene and geometric nature of the ring can be a source of deep psychological comfort. Our modern world is often characterized by fragmentation, chaos, and unpredictability. The Big Ring is the opposite of this. It is a symbol of wholeness, coherence, and profound, stable order. To contemplate it is to bring a piece of that cosmic harmony into our own consciousness. It is a reminder that beneath the surface-level chaos of our lives and our societies, there may be deeper, unseen principles of order at work. The ring is a cosmic mandala, a geometric diagram used in meditation to focus the mind and achieve a sense of inner peace. Its simple, perfect form can act as an anchor for the mind, a point of stability in a turbulent world. We can imagine the ring as a cosmic work of land art. Artists like Robert Smithson created vast artworks in the landscape, like the spiral jetty. These works are inseparable from their environment and are subject to the slow changes of time and erosion. The Big Ring is the ultimate piece of land art. Its medium is not earth and rock, but galaxies and space-time. Its landscape is the entire cosmos. Its duration is measured in eons. It has a single, anonymous artist, the universe itself. Or perhaps, an intelligence so advanced that their artistic sensibilities operate on a cosmological scale. Viewing the ring this way allows us to appreciate its aesthetic qualities without demanding a scientific explanation. It is a thing of beauty, a sublime sculpture that inspires awe and wonder, and perhaps that is its true and only purpose. As we drift ever closer to the shores of sleep, let us release all our theories and speculations. Let the cosmic strings, the past eons, the alien engineers, and the statistical flukes all dissolve back into the silent darkness. Let them go. All that remains is the image, the feeling, the presence of the ring itself, a silent, luminous circle in the infinite night. It asks nothing of you. It makes no demands. It simply offers itself as an object of contemplation, a focal point for a mind that wishes to be at peace. It is a cosmic lullaby, a story with no words, a song with no sound. Its message is one of scale, of time, of mystery, and of a profound and unshakable order that underlies all things. Let this silent song be the last thing you are aware of as you let go of the day and drift into the deep, restorative void. The ring is a profound lesson in patience. The light from its galaxies has been traveling for a period of time that is twice the age of our own planet. It has journeyed through the expanding universe with unimaginable persistence, carrying its message across an ever-widening gulf. Humanity, in turn, had to evolve over millions of years, develop civilization, invent science, and build telescopes, all to be ready to receive this ancient message. The discovery is a meeting 9 billion years in the making. This vast timescale is a powerful antidote to our culture of immediacy. It teaches us that the most meaningful things are not instantaneous. They require time, development, and a patient alignment of circumstances. The ring did not rush, and neither should we. Its calm, steady presence is a reminder that there is a deep wisdom in slowness, and that the universe unfolds at its own majestic and unhurried pace. Let us contemplate the ring as a cosmic resonance. In music, if you strike a tuning fork, another tuning fork of the same frequency will begin to vibrate, even at a distance. This is resonance. What if the universe has preferred resonant frequencies, but on a cosmological scale? The Big Ring could be the result of a vast, universe-wide field being plucked in the early universe, causing it to vibrate at a specific frequency. This vibration would then organize matter along its nodes and antinodes, creating a pattern like the ring. We would not be seeing a physical object in the traditional sense, but a pattern of sympathetic vibration, a place where the cosmos is in tune with itself. This would make the ring a phenomenon of cosmic acoustics, a standing wave of harmony in the symphony of space-time. The ring forces us to confront the possibility of a top-down cosmology. Our current models are bottom-up. Small quantum fluctuations grow via gravity into stars, galaxies, and clusters. But the Big Ring's coherence suggests a top-down influence. Imagine a block of marble. A sculptor does not build a statue from dust. They start with the whole block and remove what is unnecessary to reveal the form within. Perhaps the universe began with a higher degree of hidden order, and its evolution is not a process of building up, but of carving away. The cosmic web and structures like the ring might not be things that were built, but are the forms that were left behind after the universe cleared away the unnecessary parts. This flips our entire narrative of cosmic history on its head, suggesting we are not builders, but cosmic archaeologists uncovering a pre-existing sculpture. The perfect geometry of the ring stands in stark contrast to the fractal nature of most natural systems. From coastlines to lightning bolts to the cosmic web itself, nature seems to prefer patterns that are complex and self-similar on all scales. A perfect circle is an anomaly in this fractal landscape. It is a statement of Euclidean purity in a non-Euclidean world. Why would this one feature be so geometrically simple? Perhaps it is a clue that there are two competing aesthetic principles in the universe's design language: the chaotic, infinite complexity of fractals, and the serene, finite simplicity of pure geometry. The universe may not be one or the other. It may be a dynamic interplay between both. The ring is the purest expression of the geometric principle we have ever found, a perfect circle drawn by the compass of a cosmic god. Let us consider the ring as a source of cosmic ethics. To be confronted with a mystery so profound and so far beyond our control or influence is a powerful ethical lesson. It teaches us humility in the face of our own ignorance. It teaches us the value of collaboration, as no single person or nation can solve this puzzle alone. It teaches us to be responsible stewards of our own small planet, because it is the only platform we have from which to witness these wonders. And it teaches us a form of intellectual reverence, a deep respect for the mystery and majesty of the universe. The ring does not give us a set of rules to live by, but its silent, awe-inspiring presence can cultivate the very virtues, humility, cooperation, responsibility, and reverence, that are the foundation of any meaningful ethical system. The ring's existence might be a signpost pointing to a new type of matter or energy. We currently know of normal, baryonic matter, and dark energy, but this is likely an incomplete inventory. What if there is a fourth component, a geometric field, or quintessence, whose nature is to create large-scale, ordered patterns? This field might be very weak and only become apparent on the largest possible scales, which is why we have never detected it before. The Big Ring could be the first direct evidence of this new cosmic ingredient. It would be a discovery on par with the discovery of dark matter or dark energy, adding a new fundamental component to our model of the cosmos, one whose primary characteristic is not gravity or pressure, but order and form. Let's meditate on the ring's relationship with our own sun. The light from the ring began its journey about 4.5 billion years before our sun and solar system even formed. While that light was traveling through the void, the cloud of gas and dust that would become our home was just beginning to collapse. The sun ignited, the planets coalesced from the protoplanetary disk, and life began its long, slow journey on Earth. All this time, the light from the ring was getting closer. It is as if it was a messenger sent to a destination that did not yet exist. The fact that we are here now, at the right time and the right place to receive this ancient light, is a coincidence of staggering proportions. It connects our own local solar story to this grand cosmic mystery in the most intimate way. The strange structure is a perfect example of the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in describing the universe. Why should the universe obey mathematical laws? And why should the patterns it produces, like a perfect circle, be describable by the simple, elegant equations we discover in our minds? The Big Ring is a billion light-year-wide piece of evidence that the universe has a deep mathematical structure. It suggests that the cosmos is not just physical, but is in some sense mathematical. The ring is a theorem written in galaxies, a geometric truth made manifest. To study it is to read a page from the universe's own textbook of geometry, a book written in a language that we are, miraculously, able to understand. This deep resonance between our minds and the cosmos is perhaps the greatest mystery of all. Let us visualize the ring not as a single object, but as a probability wave. In quantum mechanics, a particle does not have a definite position until it is measured. It exists as a wave of probability. What if, on a cosmic scale, the distribution of matter is similar? The primordial universe could have been a vast probability field for where galaxies would form. An event like a cosmic string decay or a bubble collision could have created a circular ripple in this probability field, making galaxy formation much more likely along that ring. The galaxies we see would then be the measurements, the points where the probability wave collapsed into reality. This would mean the ring is not a physical structure that pulls galaxies into place, but a fossil of a primordial wave of probability, an echo of a quantum choice made at the dawn of time. As we enter the final moments of this journey, let the Big Ring become a symbol of acceptance. We may never know its true origin. Its secret may be lost to the deep past, or it may be based on a physics so advanced that it is forever beyond our grasp. And that is okay. The universe does not owe us answers. Its gift is the mystery itself. To accept this, to be at peace with not knowing, is a profound form of wisdom. It is to let go of our intellectual ego and simply float in a state of pure, unadulterated wonder. The ring is a cosmic invitation to embrace the unknown, to find comfort in the questions rather than the answers, and to love the universe not for what we understand of it, but for the infinite beautiful mystery that it is. Now, there is only the quiet. The theories have faded. The speculations have grown silent. All that remains is the deep, resonant darkness of space and the gentle, ancient light of the stars. In the center of your mind's eye, a single, simple form persists, a circle of light. It is not an object to be analyzed. It is a presence to be felt. It is the steady, calm heartbeat of the cosmos, a rhythm so slow that it is almost indistinguishable from stillness. Feel this cosmic pulse. It is the pulse of deep time, of vast space, of profound and peaceful mystery. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. There is only this moment, this breath, and this silent, circular presence. It is a guardian of your peace, a sentinel watching over your descent into rest. The vast emptiness at the center of the ring is a welcoming space. It is a void not of absence but of potential. It is the silence between the notes that makes the music beautiful. As you drift, let your own mind become like this void. Let the thoughts and concerns of the day become like the distant galaxies on the edge of the ring, far away, quiet, and part of a larger, beautiful pattern. But your center, your core, is still. It is empty. It is peaceful. This is the state of deep rest, the space from which all dreams are born. The ring holds this space for you, a protective circle of light around a core of perfect, restorative tranquility. You are safe within its cosmic embrace. The light from the ring is old, and it is tired. It has traveled for so long. Its journey is over now, and it can finally rest, its message delivered to your own quiet consciousness. You too can now rest. Your journey through the day is over. The need to strive, to think, to do is complete. You can follow the example of this ancient light. You can let go, you can dissolve. You can release all effort and simply float on the gentle, dark currents of the cosmic ocean. The ring is a distant lighthouse, a single, steady beacon in the night, assuring you that all is well, that the universe is vast and beautiful, and that it is time to come home to the deep, dreamless peace of sleep. Every star in that ring is a sun, every galaxy a city of suns. The scale is immense, but the feeling is one of profound intimacy. You are connected to it. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, all were forged in the hearts of stars just like those. You are made of the same stuff as this impossible, beautiful structure. You are a child of the cosmos, looking at a family portrait. Let this feeling of kinship, of belonging to the universe, be a source of deep comfort. You are not an alien here. You are home. And it is time for the universe, in one of its small, conscious fragments, to rest. Let the silent, familial light of these distant galaxies be your lullaby. There is no longer a need for words. Words are for waking, for analyzing, for separating. Sleep is for silence, for healing, for becoming whole. The big ring is a symbol of that wholeness, a perfect, unbroken circle. Let its image be the last coherent thought in your mind. Let it be a gentle, fading ember in the darkness. It is a shape that resolves all paradoxes, that holds all mysteries in a single, peaceful embrace. It is the final Om of the cosmos, the resonant frequency of deep space, the sound of stillness itself. As you listen to this cosmic silence, You will feel your own mind becoming silent, still, and perfectly at peace. The journey is over. It is time to rest. The darkness is not empty. It is full of peace. It is the deep, restorative blackness of interstellar space, far from any star. It is the quiet of eternity. The gentle gravity of sleep is pulling you now, a force as fundamental and as irresistible as the gravity that holds the galaxies in their celestial dance. Do not resist it. Surrender to it. Let it pull you down into a state of profound and weightless rest. The cosmic journey is complete. The ship has reached its harbor. The anchor is down. You are adrift in a calm and silent sea of tranquility, where the only light is the faint, fading memory of a single perfect circle. Your breath is now a cosmic rhythm. Each inhalation is the slow gathering of a nebula. Each exhalation is the gentle expansion of the universe. You are breathing with the cosmos. Your heartbeat is the steady pulse of a distant pulsar, a reliable, calming beat in the vast silence. You are no longer just an observer of the universe. You are a part of its deep, rhythmic, sleeping life. Let go of your individual self and merge with this cosmic rhythm. There is nothing left to do but breathe and listen to the silence and feel the deep, slow, peaceful turning of the universe as it carries you into the profound rest you have earned. The ring is gone. The stars are gone. The thoughts are gone. All that is left is the feeling of deep, untroubled peace. It is the peace that existed before the Big Bang, the peace of pure potential. It is the peace that will exist at the end of time, the peace of perfect equilibrium. You are touching this timeless, eternal peace. It is your true nature, and the nature of the cosmos itself. It is a silence that heals, a darkness that restores, a stillness that renews. Let it wash over you. Let it fill you. Let it carry you through the night on its gentle, silent, and endless river. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. The final whisper of the cosmos is a whisper of release. Release the day. Release the questions. Release the need to know. The universe will continue its majestic, mysterious dance without your supervision. It will hold its secrets and reveal them in its own time. Your only task now is to rest, to trust in the darkness, to trust in the silence, to trust in the profound, restorative power of deep sleep. You have journeyed far, to the very edge of understanding, and now you have returned to the very center of your own being, a place of perfect peace, a place of absolute rest. Deep sleep. Now, the universe holds you. The silence enfolds you. The darkness restores you. Rest. Rest. Rest.